What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. It's only been 2 days since the show, but we have plenty of news to discuss with you guys. I'm accompanied by the panel of Ahmed, Winter Surfer, and Chris, and myself, Marshalldbdx. Before we go ahead and start the show, as always, guys, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when we do go live. Make sure to subscribe because 69% of you, I looked at the numbers recently, 69% of you that watch the channel and are viewing the channel and viewing the content don't subscribe. So hey, don't be shy, subscribe to the channel so that you can, for one, have access to the chat, two, don't miss out on any of our streams, and three, be part of an awesome community of very intelligent, footballing, IQ'd people, for the most part. There's a few of you. You know who you are. Anyways, also be sure to smash the like button. It does help out with the algorithm and it helps the channel grow. We're trying to get to 3K, so by all means, subscribe and like the video. It does help towards that goal. Be sure to check out the links below for everyone's content, including my own other content, the Twitter, Ahmeds Channel, Sarcasm City, all the good stuff, and all the good friends of the channel are on there. And be sure to leave a comment down below to listen to what you think. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for being so patient. I know I am late, but it's because I get home from work and so much news happens, and I got to get the show prepared once again after I've already prepared it so that you guys can get the most up-to-date from the time of the stream show that I can give you. But let's go ahead and just get this ball rolling, and let's start off with the first bit of news, which you guys already know is going on. Guys, Romeo Lavia is a Chelsea player. It is a here we go. Big up Romeo Lavia. Wow, it's unbelievable. I would never have guessed that we were going to get both the players, Lavia and Caicedo, but now here we are and we have both. I thought it was going to be Liverpool getting Lavia with all the groundwork they did for him, and it was going to be us getting Caicedo with all the groundwork we did with him. But here, let's discuss what happened and why exactly things fell the way they did. So first tweet I have here from Fabrizio Romano: Chelsea and Southampton closing in on Romeo Lavia move. Structure of deal is being discussed. How to activate the add-ons, and also Saints asking for bigger part of a fee up front. Matter of short time to get final green light and proceed with medical. Here we go soon. Next tweet: there was some irritation with the Stamford Bridge at Liverpool's attempt to hijack Moises Caicedo transfer. Also, multiple sources close to Lavia transfer have expressed bemusement over Liverpool's tactics. It is understood that he was left feeling that he was Liverpool's second choice after they bid for Caicedo. That's coming from Jacob Steinberg. What did I say before? What's going to happen when you have the money and you go in for another player and you're toying around with Lavia's bid? You're going to make the guy feel like he wasn't even your first choice. You haven't even gotten the side chick and you're already going for another chick. It's crazy. So, David Ornstein reporting: Manchester City is scheduled to receive 20% of profits Southampton make on the sale of Romeo Lavia to Chelsea. Consequence of a sell-on clause inserted into the deal that took 19-year-old midfielder from Manchester City to Saints in the summer of 2022. Moving forward, Chelsea reach agreement with Southampton to sign midfielder Romeo Lavia. Fee in place between CFC and the Saints for 19-year-old Belgian international, £53 million plus £5 million in add-on, subject to medical terms being finalized. Move will be completed soon. Then we have here Romeo Lavia to Chelsea. Here we go. The official announcement right here. Let me make this picture bigger. To Chelsea, here we go. Deal agreed between clubs on final fees short of £60 million, add-ons included. Structure also agreed. Lavia will undergo medical tests this week. Just informed by clubs that the agreement was reached. Romeo said yes to Chelsea on Monday. And I believe, Ahmed, you told me that the medical is done and dusted. It's been passed.
Yeah, with the Chelsea spot, yeah.
Yeah. Understand final fee for Romeo Lavia to Chelsea after agreement revealed a few minutes ago will be £53 million fixed fee plus $5 million in add-ons. Lavia will be unveiled as Chelsea player this week. Hasn't been unveiled today. Probably going to happen possibly tomorrow in hopes that he does play for us versus West Ham, and that West Ham is getting more and more exciting as the days go on. But yeah, ladies and gents, I mean, listen, kudos to the co-sporting director, and the board for getting this midfield completely revamped. Me and a lot of other Chelsea voices already saying that this midfield is basically going to be set for just about a decade. Where this young guys, we got Moises, who's 21, I believe Enzo's 22, and Caicedo 19. These guys are very young; they got years ahead of them, and we're probably going to build off of this too. We have basically a skeleton in that midfield that hopefully, if all goes well, guys, they pull through. These players prove to be the players that they are and expected to be. We see the same performances that they were putting on under other teams for Chelsea, and we have a set midfield. But gentlemen, what are we thinking about all this happening? I mean, I'm sure we spoke about it a little bit, but now it's official, and now it's finally here we go.
I'm not a big fan of Romeo Lavia. I think we should not sign him. Just kidding. Okay, let's let's get serious. Obviously, it's a great. I'm thinking again. It's another great acquisition. I think this really, in my opinion, completes the midfield. Hopefully, this is one to watch for the future. Hopefully, we've done something that we've not done before, which is we've actually given our midfield Enzo help. We've actually given him someone that's a good partner for him and someone else that can also partner with him quite well. This gives Enzo a lot of freedom at the end of the day. When it comes down to, I want to give a big shout out to Joe Shields. He did a lot of the groundwork.
He's a big part of it.
To be able for us to go and get Romeo Lavia as well. And, something to consider is the 19 years old, another Premier League experienced player. So at the end of the day, man, I'm very happy about getting Romeo Lavia. And, all it just shows to you, man, is that, and let this be a lesson to all Liverpool fans, yeah, make sure to get your target first before you start going for other targets, because it's just going to make other people, feel like they're not worth it. So, at the end of the day, man, I'm very happy about getting Romeo Lavia. Welcome, Romeo, and we will treat you right. You know what I'm saying? We're not like those guys up north.
Yeah, that's what I like about us bringing Lavia. I was happy enough with Caicedo and Enzo because I thought maybe double pivot, but now obviously Nkuku's injured, right? He's out to January. So bringing in Lavia, now we can probably play a 4-3-3 with all three midfielders, because I don't think we need to play a 4 attackers since we ain't really got enough attackers for that. But Enzo, Lavia as 2-8 probably, and Caicedo behind. Caicedo's link up is very good as well. That midfield three is probably one of the most feared Premier League midfielders in the Premier League. It's got to be one of the top ones anyway. So yeah, and there's another thing I also like about Lavia is the added of saltiness from all the Liverpool fans. They're just too upset they lost Lavia like that. It's crazy, but yeah, it's a great signing. Yeah, I just think it's a great signing. I just didn't expect it. I thought we'd just be done with Caicedo, but I think because the reason we got him is because Liverpool fucked up. They should just bid that 50 million straight away. Liverpool gifted us this Lavia, and now they got that Endo guy. Val said, we got better. You enjoy that Endo guy. We enjoy Lavia and Caicedo. We got a brilliant midfield. So yeah, it's truly greatness coming, and hopefully we get to see Lavia and Caicedo this Sunday, because it's possible we get to see at least one of them play. Maybe Lavia, because he's playing pre-season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Lavia definitely plays Sunday then. For Chelsea, he either comes on second half or something, or he starts. One or two. We're probably gonna see him this Sunday, so that's gonna be great to see.
Do you guys actually think he's gonna play this Sunday, or start? I should say. That's a better question.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just looking forward to watch the game. I am really looking forward. I was excited last Sunday, but this week that's happened, I am so excited to watch the game on Sunday. It's just, let me just speak to my Liverpool brethren, okay? Let me just say this. These 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-olds don't know who Kenny Dalglish is, Ian Rush, Robbie Fowler's, Steve McMahon. They only know Steve McMahon from BT commentary, bro. They don't know who played for him. They barely know Steven Gerrard, fam. You know what I mean? They barely know him. And you think that you're going to rock up like you're Liverpool, like you're something. You're not. You're in this time period. You're an historical Leicester. That's all you are in this time period. An historical Leicester. You are a glorified cup team. That's what you are. We've won more leagues. We've won more cups than you in the past 30 trophies in the past 30 years. I mean, how much bigger chunk of history do you want? 30 years we've been better than you. In these terms, in this generation, we are the bigger club, not Liverpool. We are the bigger club to this generation, not you. We and City are the big clubs in this generation. Manchester United to a certain extent. But Liverpool, you ain't that. You are not that. You're like an aging movie star who hasn't been seen for like 20 years, just doing localized adverts, and then gets picked to do a glorified cameo like the past 5 years or something like that, and goes away again. Know your place. You cannot touch us financially, even with Roman and now with these guys. You cannot touch us. Todd Bowley bitch slapped your owner in this continent and his own continent. He did it multiple times. He took this personal. And by the way, Lavia was not personal. We bid for Lavia last summer, 50 million after he signed for Southampton. That's how much we've been invested in this guy. We don't say you're our second choice. We just say you're our choice. You are our choice to come play for us. We don't put numbers on it. You are our choice. And he's only going to earn, he's only got 95 grand a week, which is pie, I will admit that. But we signed Lavia for less than your last bid for him. You bid 60 million. We're paying 53 plus 5. I'll take the 58. It's all good.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. I think now, and I don't care what anyone says, I think we have to put a challenge in on the league this season. And win a trophy. I do.
Top
But
4 guaranteed.
let me get back onto Liverpool and just to say this, that, you know, there is no, this isn't to you, Velvish fans. All the Liverpool fans I know, apart from Mods, who had a big mouth, but I do know him, so, you know, but this isn't directed to you, Velvish fans, because you're level-headed. All you Liverpool fans who started beating your chest and signed FSG Myos and stuff like that, hold that. Get your ducks in a row before you make a bid. Make sure the player wants to even go to you, and make sure you get the personal terms agreed. We did. We put in the groundwork. It's a Chelsea thing. It's what we do. But just learn your place. And now instead of Enzo, you've got Endo. You've got Endo, not Enzo. You're paying 20 million for a 30-year-old relegation midfielder in Stuttgart. And you can hold that. You can hold that. All these Liverpool fans, they're big mouth. That's a problem with this fan base.
Pause.
You know what I mean? They're propped up by history, no problem. That's all good. You've got to deliver now. You have got to deliver. That's right, Velshire. Velshire knows he's a real one. He heard it. He heard these turncoats say FSG in when they built in for Casadei. Turncoats on their own fans. But back to Lavia. Sensational double signing. This is a rebuild, which means if context and we don't have any injuries, we don't have to do anything in midfield for the next 5 to 7 years, hopefully.
Andrew, we got a midfield rebuild now.
Got a midfield rebuild in 5 days. Literally in 5 days.
Well, 3 months, but yeah, 5 days. It took us.
But I'm just saying, it allows us to be so flexible. 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. They're also brilliant for Andrey Santos' development. That all the pressure's not heaped on him from the start. He can learn, he can develop like he should have done. But just be excited now. Be excited, Chelsea fans. Not like we've had today with all you bitches with Lewis Hall. Do you know what I mean? Like,
We're going to get on that.
Yeah,
we're going to get on that.
You guys that aren't that. This is what we wanted. I said it on stream and Lewis's stream. That night when the Liverpool bid went in, I said, and I said it to Ahmed multiple times, show me a reaction. And this is even more than I thought they'd do. I said do the Lavia deal and Kudus, right? I didn't, because I thought Casadei was gone. I thought he was gone. But this is it. And I cannot wait. You know the only man who's happier in all the Chelsea fan base? The only man who's more happier than the Chelsea fan base is Enzo Fernandez, bro.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He is looking back going,
Praise God.
I will defend for a little bit, but I don't have to as much as I have been doing the last 6 months. I've got these 2 monsters at the back. And even Reece James and Chilwell, if they start, they can bomb up even more. Because they'll be covering the back. My God, I can't believe I haven't been this excited for a game since the 21-22 season. And I can't even remember which game that was. I cannot remember which game it was. I am so excited to see this. And we're not even done yet, bro. Olise on the way, possible another forward, maybe a goalkeeper. Oh my God. But I think we have to challenge. I didn't say win, I say challenge and a trophy. I want us to go full blown in both cups. Whoever we get, I want us to play a full team in all the cups. Because we should be doing that. Let's rack up this. Let's get more trophies now, overtake Arsenal, leave them in the dust. Then they can't say anything. Let's get this done. Brilliant signing.
If I may slightly rebuttal that final comment that you made, Saf, about we must compete. Yeah, I'm not saying obviously can I understand maybe not be possible, but I'm not sure the word compete is necessarily correct. For me, I would say top 4 is a must now, and a trophy has to be won. Maybe that's the difference between you and me, but for me, it's top 4 and trophy has to be guaranteed.
I think third.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I tell you what.
The thing for me though is that look at the players though. You have to also think about that, bro.
No. I tell you what. That midfield and that defense can lock down, right? Yeah.
Sure.
The only issue we have, a question mark, is the goalkeeper. Fine, whatever. But I think the defense and the midfield can protect him. The only other thing is the forward line. Not if they're talented, but how consistent they can be. But can they get enough chances where we can ride out and win the game by the odd goal? Do you know what I mean? And I think we can, depending on injuries, of course, and suspension. I think we can ride out and win a lot of games by the odd goal. If we don't if we don't go obviously mental in attack. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But at the moment, that's what listen, I may be carried away, but we went through hell in terms of Chelsea. That was our lowest, most pathetic season last
We
year.
deserve this.
We deserve this.
Wow.
If I had to go finish 12th to get rid of all these, I know Zabi's asking for one more, and I'm hoping that as well. But most of the guys out, including did you hear Zabi? Apparently, ZIYECH has passed his medical. He might pass his medical, not failed it. So. But my God, but. Is that breaking news from Olise?
Yeah, I'll add it to the show.
Oh yeah, I already entered the public.
Yeah. And I saw the other one too. I'll add it too. But yeah, we'll discuss those things.
Okay.
But yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys. Do you think now with this midfield revamp, that makes last season's woes worth it?
Yes.
Well,
what I will say is that now, if you told me at the end of May I'd be sitting here like this right now, I wouldn't have believed you, because I didn't think we'd get half the people out that I thought we would. This is now going to, I'm not going to say 10 out of 10. That's a goddamn high 9, like a 9 point something. Do you know what I mean?
What does it have to do to be 10 though?
I don't, Lukaku.
Oh, right.
And Gallagher.
Lukaku, yeah.
I don't
Don't
mind
forget,
it,
we still have Chalobah to sell too.
No, but I like Chalobah. It's not offensive to me.
Yeah,
That's
like the whole thing though, Andrew. I think it's just profit because it'll be pure.
But
you know what I mean?
I wouldn't, if we sell him or not, it wouldn't like take.
Oh yeah, affect you.
Because he doesn't offend me. You know what I mean? So he's quite. I like him. I like Trevor. Trevor will go with my blessing. So will Lewis Hall, by the way. When I speak about Lewis Hall, when we react later, it won't be about Lewis Hall the player. It'll be the reaction to Lewis Hall the player. That's what it will be.
Oh yeah, and trust me, the reaction, especially after what I just read. Oh my days, Chelsea fans, you need to stop being reactionary. But go ahead, Shabby. What were you gonna say, man?
No, I'm saying like this is just a product. Like if I see Lewis Hall go, like I can't complain. Look, I got Caicedo and Lavia in one window, man. Caicedo, I need like I'm getting Olise. I got like a lot of good players. This is just a byproduct. We need to sell. We can't have all these guys. Like you know what I mean? And it's a harsh reality of life that some people will not make it. Your favorites probably, and you really want to see, will not make it. Like I really like Maatsen, but there may be a possibility that might not make it. You know what I mean? I'm not fussed. Like the main team is Chelsea, so
people need to remember that Pochettino specifically said he doesn't want a squad of over 22 players. He wants the very lean squad. He just wants one backup for each position, give or take. So it's like, like. Can't have too many bloated squads. Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't people realise when it comes to FFP and stuff like that, right? If we sell Lewis Hall, right, like we've done with Mount and others, like from Cobham, he is pure profit. Okay.
True.
He's pure profit on the book, which means when you put in whatever you put in as a pure profit, you're allowed to spend more on other things. Yeah. So I bet this, Xavi. I'm going to go mad, Xavi, at this, right? If we get rid of Cucurella, that's the left back place open. Do you know what I say, Xavi? I say this. Let's go raid Bayern Munich for Alphonso Davies. What do you reckon? You with me? You with me? You with me, bro? Let's just do it. Let's go mad. Let's go mad. You know what? Let's say fuck FFP. We'll take the fines and whatever. We'll do it. We'll do it all this summer. We'll get a goalkeeper. We'll get Diogo Costa or whatever. We'll just do it. We'll just do it all.
We won't need anyone else after that, will we?
I don't care.
If we have a transfer ban, like, we won't need anyone after.
This is Chelsea of old. What we're doing right now. This is even more. This is Romeo Abramovich's first 2 seasons on steroids. Mm-hmm. This is what it is right now. This is what it is. Do it now. Run the risk. Do whatever. Find another loophole. These are the smartest guys to ever come into football because they've exploited it. They've exploited it. They're the smartest ever. And just do it. Take the hit. Who cares? Just do it. Get it done. Alphonso Davies, whoever.
On the topic of FFP and players, we're not even done with Lavia. Let's discuss this one now happening as well. Michael Olise, pretty much the release clause has been triggered on Michael Olise. I got you, Surfer. There we go. Listen, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Guys, let me remind you, just because we got Caicedo, just because we got Lavia, doesn't mean the window is over. Doesn't mean the window is over. We still have business to get done, and it's getting more and more exciting. Apparently, we're still in for Kudus as well. We'll go over that kind of stuff, but let's talk about Michael Olise real quick. Michael Olise, currently sidelined after tearing his hamstring at the Under-21 European Championship, which could prevent him from playing until September. That basically is an update on the injury. I know some of you aren't aware of the injury. I even have some of you even saying you wouldn't take the player because he can't even play when he starts, which, by the way, I would like to throw this logic at you. When you look at the contract as a whole, there's no real difference between Michael Olise not being available to play in the first 2 months of his contract versus him getting injured for 2 months later on in his contract. He's still injured. It is the same. It is unfortunate we have to wait until September or even mid-October to play him. But if he comes back and he balls out, which I'm sure he will, I mean, we're not complaining then, but let's continue on. So Michael Olise, more tweets and information on him. There are concerns at Palace of tapping up Michael Olise. Now we're pretending like we're not in a transfer window all of a sudden and that we can't discuss with players, which, by the way, speaking of tapping up, smash up the like button. Almost 100 of you guys watching. You haven't wiped your feet on the carpet. I have nice new marble flooring and you're getting mud all over it. No mudding. I don't want any mudding. The only mudding that needs to be done in this stream is the rivals after the Michael Olise topic. But ladies and gents, don't get mud on the floor. Wipe your feet on the carpet. Wipe your feet on the floor mats. Smash that like button. So I appreciate it, guys. Let's go on to talk more about Michael Olise. Here, more tweets. Chelsea are closing in on Michael Olise. Something to be clarified with the mechanism of the release clause, and then the deal will be done too. So I guess formulating the details and little nuances that are related to that release clause. We continue on. Manchester City considered Michael Olise, but Chelsea have pushed hardest for him. Olise wants to join Chelsea. And it probably goes to say that he probably wants to join Chelsea because he actually has a small history with Chelsea being, he was a Cobham kid, right? He went through the academy, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Olise?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Like 14 or something.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So here, David Ornstein. Chelsea believed to have activated release clause in Michael Olise's contract and expect to complete signing in due course. If deal finalized, it would guarantee Crystal Palace £35 million, 21-year-old recovering from injury, according to The Athletic and Fabrice Hawkins. And then we have here Fabrizio confirming Chelsea have activated the £35 million release clause into Michael Olise's contract deal, advancing to final stages. Clause has always been in there despite denials, and all parties will be in touch to finalize the agreement. Olise already said yes to Chelsea. Time to fix details. And then we have here Michael Olise will sign a very long contract with Chelsea, according to Fabrizio. Joe Shields once again played an important role in the Michael Olise deal, according to Bobby Vincent. And here we have the tweet from Fabrice Hawkins, which we're going to translate here. Bear with me as the translation is not that great, but agreement in principle between Crystal Palace and Chelsea for Michael Olise. The signing of international with the Blues is becoming clearer. Compensation close to its clause, which is slightly less than 40 million euros. Olise agreement with CFC revealed a while ago, and it's going to be a long-term contract. And we're just waiting for the here we go at this point, ladies and gents. So that being said, I mean, this is another exciting one. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've seen this guy play a few times at Crystal Palace. I mean, probably not as much as Ahmed. Ahmed, you probably seen him play a lot because you used to watch Gallagher. But dude, this guy has. I know people are either between Kudus and Olise, but after doing a little bit of research, I think even Olise has the ability to score not as many, but close to as many goals that Kudus would bring to the team. I think he was hindered by the fact that he was at a Crystal Palace, which the quality's not there. I mean, he's the one creating the chances, him and Eze and Zaha. I mean,
I kind of disagree though with what you're saying.
Well, let me just land real quick and then you can go ahead, Ahmed. But I think with Olise, like, putting him in a team like Chelsea where he creates chances and the chances aren't going to be gone to waste. You know, you're not serving up an Ayew, you're not serving it up to an Edouard. I think you're better off. You're going to have better finishers at the club. You're going to have other dangerous attackers at the club that can create chances even for you as well. I don't know if Eze's a good talent. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if Eze is going to be the same exact quality of talent that you get from Olise and Zaha. I mean, I don't really rate Zaha that much. I know he's decent, but is he going to be of the same quality as Olise or Eze? I don't think so. I think the ceiling is a lot higher in those two gentlemen. But Ahmed, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I had a disagreement with you in regards to this idea that, you know, at Crystal Palace, he wasn't, you know, scoring enough because of those surrounding him. I think the slight disagreement is, well, yes, you know, Edouard wasn't shooting as well, Mateta wasn't shooting as well, and Eze wasn't really doing well in this season under Vieira. I think for me, when it comes to Elise, he's a creator first. He's almost like primarily the creator in that team. And that's the thing for Chelsea. When you're bringing Olise here, you're trying to bring in those 11 assists, probably trying to get even more from that, helping you with that final ball. At the end of the day, that's something that Olise can bring. He's a very good crosser, very good at making, you know, those final balls if need be. He's a very good free kick taker too, because obviously now we've lost Nkuku. He's another one that can take a good top free kick as well. So, you know, shout outs to him too. I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy with getting him. You know, I literally, man, if I once I get the Chelsea shirt, bro, if he's the number I'm getting behind my shirt, bro, Olise. So that tells you how much of a big fan I am of him.
Yeah. Xavi or Chris, what do you guys think about this Olise move?
I was gonna say, you say like, oh, you don't like him because of this. I was gonna say, I even came with some facts of it, like Olise, like last season, for example, like he had like the second most creations, I think, especially under 22-year-olds. Like he's right next to Saka's creations, basically, and like he does look good as well. I will say he looks good. I just have to see him as a Chelsea, like in the Chelsea kit, but like I think he had like 11 assists as well for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. I think he's like one of the most top assisters as well. Like he does look very promising, and he's like what, 21?
Yeah, he's very young.
Yeah, he looks very promising. He does look better than ZIYECH as well. Like maybe even Mudryk. He might be better than Mudryk as well because he looks like a very good creator. He will be definitely fighting for that position for Sterling, like because he's
I think he takes it from Sterling. I'll be quite frank. I think he takes it from Sterling.
Yeah, like I think it's gonna be a lot of rotations because you could see Sterling on the left wing as well, and like I think there's gonna be a lot of rotations as well. And this guy, he will be definitely like, you know, competing with all these top wingers we have. He does look like a good winger. He does. Like and for 35 million, you can't go wrong, can you? 35 million is nothing. I think so.
Metal Face Doom, just to answer your question real quick. I'm sorry, Chris. I thought you were finishing. Just to answer your question, I think he will probably be match fit by mid-October. That's what I'm thinking. But he'll be able to come into games end of September.
No. The end of September is when he's going to be fully fit. That's the point. Like,
fully fit?
Yeah,
but match fit. He'll probably be able to play games end of September, but I don't think he'll be like super match fit and sharp until maybe mid-October. I usually give him 2 weeks after coming back from an injury. Yeah,
I could see he's a 10 actually. Yeah, so like he could maybe be behind a striker because he looks like a very good creator. He looks like he's good on both feet. He's left-footed, right? Like he's got to be left-footed.
Yeah, he's left-footed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I have seen him use his right foot as well, but like it looks like he's mainly left-footed. Yeah, like as a 10 as well, like the middle he could do as well. Like if we play
Think about that that pairing too. By the way,
him and Reece James on the right, yeah, it's illegal. Yeah, like I think it would be illegal as well. But yeah, 35 minutes, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that guy.
yeah,
Solid guy.
and I mean, people are probably wondering how the hell are we doing all this? And actually, one other thing too, besides telling you guys to smash the like button, because now there's over 100 of you, and I would appreciate it because it does help out the channel tremendously. We're trying to bring you the most up-to-date news and all the latest news since our last show, all in one video, all in one compact podcast, or whatever you want to say it. So if you do enjoy the content, do smash up the like button. Let's try to get to at least 50 likes, guys, and I would really appreciate it because it does help out the channel tremendously. We're on our way to 3K. So I was gonna say that actually I don't remember what I was gonna say. Okay. There's rumors, and we'll discuss this I guess more thoroughly, but there's rumors that Crystal Palace is upset with this whole situation, how we've gone about it. But I gotta say, like, I don't know why Crystal Palace is upset. And it sounds like rumor has it that they're just upset because we discovered that there was a clause in there that they didn't want people to know about. Well, mate, if you didn't want a clause in the player's contract, don't put it in there. But you can't get upset if in a transfer window, a club comes in and puts in the money and triggers a release clause. Like, am I wrong here? Like, do they have the right to be upset?
They're probably upset. They probably thought we ran out of money or something. Like how can Chelsea buy another player? I don't know.
That sounds ridiculous, man.
I don't know why. Well, that's what they should. The thing is, they should have expected it as well. Yeah, like you said, they should have expected a club. If they seen him play well last season, like he did play well, like a club, 35 minutes is nothing to a big club. It's nothing, unless you're Liverpool, maybe it might be something. But yeah, it's just nothing. So they shouldn't be mad.
I think this is a good question from Metal Face Doom. Do you guys reckon that this is Poch targets?
I don't think it necessarily
say.
matters. It doesn't necessarily matter though. Like I think for me, Poch probably asked for a certain type of midfielder. You already knew for a long while we wanted Caicedo, and you've brought that in. We've now brought in Lavia as well, who's a very similar type of midfielder too. So we'll give him Poch options at the end of the day. As a manager, you'll probably be over the moon if you can get someone better than Gallagher. And in my opinion, even though they're not necessarily the same, Chukwuemeka and Lavia, like you're getting improvements in the field, people that you know you can use, to a better effect than what you currently have on the field. So I'll play. So hey ho, man. Honestly, I don't think it necessarily matters if Poch wants them or not.
I think Olise is playing the 10.
That's the plan for Chelsea. Chelsea's plan was to make Elye play the 10.
I think Olise is playing. Look at the wingers we got. Look at the striker. We got a striker that made 21 runs in behind against Liverpool, who loves making those runs in behind and can do the hold-up play. So that's good as well. But we got Sterling, who's very good at crashing at far post, and Sterling does make good runs. You may crash it on him, he does make good runs. We got Mudryk that wants to always get in behind as well. Like having Olise to unlock all of that is crazy. And you got and maybe when it's options, because if he plays on the right wing too, him and pairing with Reece James, elite. Like he's gonna cut in, have Reece James go on the right side. And if you look at that right hand side the other day against Liverpool, I think that's where a lot of our joys come from, Enzo and Reece James. Imagine having Olise there too. You know what I mean? He gives us something different because we don't have a creative winger. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have that creative type presence. Look where Carney was playing. I think if you put Olise there, we're kind of cooking. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I think so, too. I think one thing to also point out is, like, I kind of feel bad for rivals now because all at rival left backs and rival left center backs, because if this goes through, if everything goes well, and we do have a pairing of, like, Reece James and Michael Olise on the right, oh my God, the amount of careers that may end as a result of these guys just putting these guys on a split, and just the nightmare of like trying to mark these guys and nail them down. That's going to be a tough job for any left back. So I wish you the best of luck, but that's a tough one. Scott, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. What do you think about this Olise thing getting done? And of course, you can put in your 2 cents on Lavia finally getting done as well.
Happy about both of these. The Elise one's nice. Like when it comes to kind of players of that ilk, you could maybe argue that he is quite similar to Madueke in the sense of like they're both guys that like to take their man on and things like that. But I think he's a very good player. Like the people that care about this sort of thing, he was 4th in assists last season for Palace. I think he was only behind Salah, De Bruyne, and one other. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, he's Son. Not Son, actually. Never mind.
No, I can't remember who the other one was. But yeah, so I think this is a good move, especially for the price it is for. Like these are the smart type of moves you need to be making. Like it's good we've done the likes of Lavia and Caicedo, but you can't be doing those all the time. Like you need to be making these types of moves, and that's what I do like. And so I'm glad he's done. Obviously, I'm glad Lavia's done. Managed to get that all over the line. Yeah, like honestly, I'm happy with how the team's come together this summer. I think it's been considering where we started and where we thought. I think a lot of the fan base thought we'd get to. I would say, at least for me, this window has far exceeded my expectations of what I thought we would finish at.
Actually, I'll ask you this question
of business, both incoming and outgoing.
I'll ask you this question, Scott, because I asked the panel before. Now that this window is relatively close to being done, there's still more business to be had. I will ask you this: do you think last season's freaking nightmare of a season was worth what we're going through right now?
Depends where we finish.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. I think it's very fair.
It depends on what we do, where we finish. If we finish like in the top 3, win a cup, or potentially challenge for the title, I'm not saying win it, but challenge, then maybe. If we finish 5th, don't win a cup, then no. Because like I think it's all context and it's all about what goes on in the season, I would say. Like,
5th is still Champions League, right? This season now.
Not even. No, I'll be real. Not even just Champions League. That's because 5th gets us Champions League, and I don't want just 5th.
I do think we do need to win a trophy. I do agree with that. So for you, it's really dependent on the trophy and the.
It's not even trophy. Like it's 3rd minimum. No one can tell me. No one can look at this team. Not even just look at this team. Go and look at all the factors concerning our team and other teams. We all saw how United played the other night. They look dog shit. Sure. That midfield is going to play most weeks. That looks terrible. Liverpool have just fixed their DM problem with a guy who is decent, but is at best a squad player for them, and is 30. And we know what Klopp's like. His hamstrings are going to be broken by January. And then Arsenal didn't look great. They obviously have still got some teething problems in terms of sorting out their structure, how they're going to work with the new signings. City look good, but it's City. I think they're going to win the league. The only teams that I would say look like top teams, I would say looked competent and looked good were City, us, and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Obviously, things can change, but if I'm going off right now, we're playing once a week, so there's plenty of time for guys to bed in and understand the system. We've also got, I'd say, the 2nd best midfield in the league, especially if we play that 4-3-3 with the guys we bought. For me, that's 2nd best midfield in the league. We've got a solid defence. I wouldn't say apart from at left back, there is a single weak link in that defence. And if going forward you decide to play Cole at left back like we did at the weekend, I think that there isn't a single weak link in that defence. Goalkeeper is what it is, and I think our forwards can contribute enough for us to finish top 3.
I will say, to address this comment as well, I'm pretty sure it's been established now that the owners won't be as involved in that dressing room like they did last season. There's even footage of Poch going into the dressing room and the owners staying out, like Egbali was out of it and all that. So you don't got to worry about this anymore. This is an agenda from last season. Yes, what they did last season was wrong, but I think they're learning. We've seen multiple times now that they've learned from their mistakes, and yeah, they're a lot more hands off than they were. They're leaving it to the structure that they built. So I don't think you got to worry about owners coming into dressing rooms anymore. That being said, actually, this is a little different of a segment, and I would abide you guys join me in on this. Obviously, it's a little bit different of a segment that I usually do, and I figured since we've mudded the rivals so much, I would love to react to some of the things that they said, and laugh at them a little bit. So 150 you guys, over 150 you guys watching. By the way, thank you so much. Be sure to smash that like button. As I've said over and over again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I don't see that like hitting 50. Smash that like button so that we can get the channel to grow. Over 160 of you guys watching, and only 47 of you guys have smashed that like button. So let's try to get up to 60 likes. Please, if you're enjoying the content, it does help us out tremendously. So let's have a moment, ladies and gents of the chat and of the panel, to laugh at some of these rivals and the copium and the things that they are saying. So let's go ahead and start off with this first tweet. And I got plenty of tweets here for you guys to just enjoy. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy the banter here. So we got Tom Little, Liverpool fan, does some content with Hassam. So we weren't rejected. We just weren't the preferred destination. Ironic how only one man ran with that. It was called out multiple times in the thread. This is Chelsea have always been favorite for Caicedo and all that. So in reaction to Caicedo choosing Chelsea, apparently it wasn't a rejection. It was they just weren't the preferred destination. I think that's a whole lot of copium. No, my friend, you guys were rejected. Okay. This is how it works. you don't ask a girl out, and then when she says no, you're like, oh, she didn't reject me. I just wasn't the guy that she wanted. So we move, okay? So this is just the laughter that I have to have for these fans, man. The cope, it's so funny. We got Hussam, Don Hussam. I want us to smash Chelsea tomorrow. Make Caicedo cry in the stands, make him feel like he made the right decision. I want to beat them 5-0. This is the wrong decision, for fuck's sake. No, Hassan, you meant that. That was some Freudian slip there. He did make the right decision, my friend. Oh man, love to see it. We move on. Liverpool have denied having an agreement with Southampton for Romeo Lavia, according to Paul Joyce. So now all of a sudden the journals are saying that no, there was never a bid for Lavia. We don't know what you guys are talking about. Meanwhile, here, it is not true that Liverpool closed a deal for Romeo Lavia yesterday. They knew the player wanted to move to Chelsea, so decided to move on to different targets, according to Fabrizio Romano. And of course, Fabrizio's only going to reiterate the news that's told to him. He doesn't know like the exact details, but I believe here, when this loads up, we have the exact details. This came out after the fact. Southampton director Jason Wilcox on Romeo Lavia. We had an offer, which we accepted from Liverpool, but then Chelsea came to the table. We're currently in negotiations with Chelsea. I'm confident that something will get done in the next week or so via Mark Wahi. Okay, bless you. Okay, so all of a sudden, like, oh, so there was a deal. There was a bid on the table, Liverpool fans and Liverpool journals. Like, okay, we're gonna pretend like it wasn't just to save face. No, there was a bid on the table. So let's continue on. We have another tweet right here. We made Romeo Lavia feel like second choice by messing him around and leaving him waiting. Fair enough, but how can he not feel like that at Chelsea when they spent 150 million pounds on a player in his position just the day before? Well, this is a pretty easy to explain. Pretty much because we were trying to get the player since last summer. That's why. And you guys only just stepped in this summer. So yeah, we were going to go for both players. We never told the player he was going to be a second choice. All right. The copium continues. So now, as a result of Liverpool being foolish, being Liverpools, Liverpool, among a number of leading clubs who have long-term admiration for Aurelien Tchouameni, but Real Madrid see the 23-year-old France international as key player and would not consider his departure, while midfielder has no interest in leaving. I believe also Valverde was in those discussions as well. Then we have here, this was shortly after the whole Caicedo dilemma. Liverpool could now turn to Tyler Adams, and if I'm not mistaken, Tyler Adams turned to Bournemouth and not Liverpool.
They just
it was literally, I think it was literally as well within 15-20 minutes of this being announced.
That's hilarious. So then the circus continues. Liverpool right here. As many as 6 midfielders are being considered by Liverpool. João Palhinha, which is not a bad choice. I would say that. João Palhinha is not a bad choice. Check the Corey, Sofiane Omrabah, Calvin Phillips, Andrey from Fluminense, and Thuram from Nice. Not as good as Caicedo, most of these options. But I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think of these options, by the way? I should ask you guys.
All the options ain't better than Caicedo. They wanted Caicedo for a good reason. Yeah, like you said, the Fulham one and Amber, whatever you say his name. I saw him in the World Cup. He looked good. The rest I don't even know about really. Oh, Calvin Phillips didn't even play last season, did he?
No.
If I was them, I'll put the bread up for Paulinho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paulinho.
I would say Paulinho is not a bad. Like,
But
listen.
didn't they already bought DM? Like, he wasn't even on that list.
Yeah, Endo, who's not even on this list, by the way.
They
Yeah,
overtake him
so-
secretly.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Endo if he ends up being the good DM that they wanted. But I mean, out of this list, the only one I really rate, maybe Amrabat, maybe Paulinho, or not maybe Paulinho, definitely Paulinho. But these other ones, I don't know.
Thuram.
And Scott,
Thuram's decent.
Scott, is Paulinho even a DM? I thought he was a number 8.
Yes. Yeah, all of these guys are DMs apart from Thuram.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, got it.
he did play there not last season, the season before, but last season he was moved. Especially they changed manager about halfway through the season, and he was moved to play as a number 8, and he did bits there. Like he was probably even better as an 8 than he was as a 6.
Yeah, Liverpool do look desperate. That's why I'm showing you guys.
They
this
do,
tweet,
like
just
they
so you
are.
can
That's
laugh
the
at
point.
them.
Like
Yeah,
they are beyond desperate. Like the signing they made today, for example, is wild. Like,
dude, this one right here was hilarious. Grizz Khan, big up to him. This is the problem now. The Core, 80 million pounds.
oh no! By the way, they were quoted 80 million or 70 million at the start of the window. The problem is now Palace know you have that money, so they're not budging on that.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. And Matisse, Lord have mercy. FSG have showed everyone their bank balance. Bakayoko is free. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it. The Liverpool
It's so
fans
unusual
are
for
crying.
Liverpool, though, isn't it? Like Liverpool are like normally smart in business. They normally get their players cheaper. They normally get them like when they want their players. Like they don't show too many cards. But this season they fucked it with Chelsea. They tried chasing Chelsea with their targets and they fucked it. And then they went back to Lavia. Chelsea came to Lavia, and they just now they're gonna be in desperate moments like to get an actual DM.
This Tom Little guy does make me laugh. Look at this, guys. So he's responding to Borussia Dortmund dressing room is glad that Jude Bellingham is no longer there. His transfer was probably beneficial for the climate within the dressing room. A kind of mood was built up against the Englishmen. And then he goes, seems like he's got an ego and Liverpool Football Club don't do egos. Nailed the decision on moving away from him. You guys were desperate for Bellingham. You were twerking for Bellingham. I remember the streams Hussam was saying like Bellingham is we're gonna win the league if we get Bellingham.
the copium is unbelievable.
I know, it's so funny.
It's on another level of just like, it's just unreal. Like,
yeah, it's so funny. Which I had to show you guys in the chat. This is just hilarious to see, just the falling apart of Liverpool and the fan base. Liverpool believe Chelsea have overpaid for Southampton midfielder Romeo Lavia. Listen, gentlemen, you were gonna bid more than what we bid. So rules for thee, but not for me, apparently, according to Liverpool. Listen, I think Romeo Lavia for the price that we paid, which is about £57 million, I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we overpaid for Lavia?
It's probably overpaying, but that's what you do sometimes. That's the position you kind of put yourself in sometimes.
This is gold from
I don't know, because I seen like Fred, like, I don't know, 5 years ago go for 55 million, and 2023 we see Lavia go for 53 million plus 5 add-on. Like, it's not looking too bad. Like, I see a lot of midfielders go high.
35 M's for Hall is a great deal, man. I'm sorry.
We'll talk about that. No, chill. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Who's that? Chris be going off.
And this is more of the just like let's go on to the next segment of this. Let's go on to the next FFP complaints. Okay, now we have plenty of teams complaining about FFP and how it works. It's crazy how all these accounts all of a sudden pretend they know everything and anything about FFP. Know little to nothing about FFP. Do a little bit of research and you'll understand how FFP fucking works. So here we got Josh LFC 1909 account here. If a team can legally spend £1 billion in 12 months, then FFP is pointless. Anyway, then again, we already knew that. Oh, so we spent 1 billion? I didn't realize we spent £1 billion. I thought we amortized, right? That is what it's called. People like to just look at the price of the contracts and not how it's paid and how it's structured out. They don't take into consideration the wages. This guy's obviously not taking into consideration how much we have sold in players in those 12 months per se. Not even we'll say 3 season and a half. Like a year and a half, the last 16 months, right? Or 8, like, no,
what we sold. Oh, what
3
we
windows.
Sold,
yeah.
3 windows.
In 12 months. Yeah. So in 12 months, we've made almost half a billion in sales. But we're not going to talk about that. That doesn't count towards FFP, right?
We don't.
Yeah, of course. And then we got Hussam, same, complaining. FFP isn't real. Listen, these guys don't know anything about FFP. Don't let them fool you. They don't know shit about FFP. A lot of these accounts don't know shit about FFP. And here we got mail exclusive. Sources have indicated Crystal Palace have considered formally reporting their top flight rivals for making an illegal approach for Olise, though whether they are prepared to take such a drastic step remains to be unseen. Okay, so what was illegal about trying to trigger the release clause? Can someone here enlighten me? As far as I'm aware, everything we did was fine. We spoke to the agent spoke to you guys. Isn't this what happens in Windows?
Looks to us, it looks fine, but like, unless there's something behind the scenes, then yeah, it's illegal. But what we've seen, nothing's illegal. Like what we.
That's what I'm saying. Does anyone know anything? Because as far as we're aware, as far as what's been reported, everything we've done has been scotch-free.
See, rivals will probably tell us it's illegal, but they won't actually give you like an answer why it's illegal because they don't know. Like we don't know that what's illegal either. Like. But it doesn't look illegal.
No one here is an accounting expert. I don't know why people are acting like accounting experts. Simple as that, really.
That's what I'm saying. And even you don't even have to be an accounting expert to realize what Chelsea have done to complete all these signings and all these transfers. Like It's easy to just take the contracts and just add them. All right, people can do arithmetic. Yes, it's almost 1 billion spent, 1 billion in contract totals. What people fail to see is one, how much we've made in money from outgoings, and 2, how much we're actually paying yearly because FFP works annually. How much we're paying annually for these contracts?
It is not even annually, if I'm not mistaken. It's in like over a 3-year rolling period.
I think it's like.
I thought it was annually.
No, it's over a 3-year rolling period. FFP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, FFP is 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. How much we're paying in the 3 years, and how much we're getting paid from other clubs who are paying for our players as well. Because I don't think like the Mason Mount, the Havertz, I don't think we got that money up front, did we? Or is that something it's payment plan?
Yeah, it'd be same as us paying like I don't know, 10 million, 20 million each year. God knows. I don't know for sure, but if they won't pay in full, no way.
Are you talking about sales?
Yeah, we sold Kai Havertz, they won't pay us.
Oh no, the sales count straight away. Like the money that we get counts straight away.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
No, yeah, the money counts, but
when it comes to players you buy, you can amortize their contract over everything. But say for example, right, the Enzo deal, right? So what do we buy him for? 107, 105?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's with add-ons or without add-ons. Let's just say for argument's sake it's 105. So we'll amortize that over 8 years. But Benfica will get that 105 straight away. Like in terms of like for the FFP, they'll get 105 straight away.
Oh, okay, I see. It's like it's a number that's going to count towards FFP. The actual number they get is going to be amortized, if I understood you correctly. But Simon Phillips also elaborates here. Someone who is probably more familiar with this than those Liverpool accounts and those Crystal Palace accounts and everyone else that likes to complain on Twitter that wants to be an armchair accountant.
Just quickly before you continue, bro. Do you get the Broja news? I don't know if you've got it. I'll just send it to you afterwards. But I just want to make the
which one?
There was some Broja news that just got released 11 minutes ago. But
if you want to go ahead and send it to me, I may have it or may not. So Simon Phillips, Chelsea, estimated or amortized spending in the past 3 windows, so the past year, comes to £152 million. This is almost entirely offset by an accounting profit from players' sales of £149 million over the same period. Where's the broken FFP rules? Tell me, enlighten me, rivals.
I'm trying to find it. I can't see it.
Yeah, because it's not there.
Do you know what's worse than rivals complaining about FFP?
Sure.
It's the fact that I'm seeing 190 people here and we haven't even hit 100 likes. So,
Whoa! Yeah, what's going on, guys?
what's going on, guys, man? Come on. Smash the like
Don't
button.
be shy.
Please. Smash the like
Smash
button.
up that like button. It helps out. It's free to do, and I'm giving you guys some quality content. At least I would like to believe I'm giving you guys some quality content.
Quality content. Quality.
Best quality in the world.
Quality. We got the right quality in this content.
200 people watching, guys. Smash up the like buttons, please. It does help us out tremendously. I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you for tuning in as I'm trying to give you as much of the news and topics and interesting topics to discuss. But here, Simon Phillips also saying Chelsea believe they remain compliant with financial fair play rules. Having also sold over 200 million pounds worth of players by early July. It's like it's all there for you guys to see it. Like if a rival doesn't want to see it, or people want to complain, then complain, whatever. But it's there. Listen, and someone pointed this out. I think it's really obvious. Chelsea are not untouchable when it comes to FFP. We've already gotten the transfer ban before. We've gotten sanctioned. Listen,
That wasn't FFP.
No, but that was FFP. We were tapping up kids. Pause. But like that was literally what we got. That was the other way to say it.
He's not
but
wrong.
I'm just saying.
He's not wrong.
Just quickly, Marshall. There's actually a tweet from Simon Johnson in regards to FFP. Actually, that you should bring up. It's like my last what's it called thing?
Okay, I got
last
you.
week I saw on private chat, bro. But essentially, in regards to the FFP situation, it seems we need to raise somewhere in the region of maybe 90 to 100 million pounds. It may need to be raised, and if you think about it, right, which means that obviously I know we're going to speak about Lewis Hall later. If he do sell him for something like 35 to 40 million pounds, you probably only need to sell another one or two more essentially players, maybe
Gallagher for 45.
I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he ain't going. I know.
Why is he not going?
I'm telling you right now, he's not going, bro.
Why?
There's something, Javi. Honestly, I have a feeling, what is going on right now? He's not going. Like for me, I probably would have thought that they would have kept what's his name?
Carney?
Lewis Hall. No, Lewis Hall. Okay. I personally would have had the feeling that Lewis Hall would have been kept, but the fact that Lewis Hall is going, I think, in my opinion, means that Gallagher probably staying. Like that's just my opinion at the end of the day.
Well, a happy day.
Well, okay, I have the tweet that you gave me here, Ahmed, so I'm going to pull that up real quick.
Yeah.
As soon as it decides. Okay, here we go. More sales are expected as said in the FFP Explainer article. Possibility that Chelsea raise another 100 million pounds. Listen, and well, we'll see. We'll see. If we do sell Gallagher, if we don't, Gallagher would be a good chunk of that, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so this is what I mean. Like all this nonsense about how we're breaking FFP and all this stuff. Like, listen, and you know what is shocking? We talked about this yesterday. The fact that not yesterday, 2 days ago on the Sunday show, the fact that the other clubs are not taking advantage of this is shocking. Instead, they're snitching us out, and now the loophole is closed. You could have taken advantage of the loophole. Premier League wasn't saying anything, but now you want to snitch us out? You want to complain? Well, fine. You're gonna have to pay high fees for these players while we already got our team done. Ahmed, you got something that you wanted to add?
I would say 2 points, but the first one is one of the things and like one of Roman Abramovich like best player and gifts that we've had is Cobham Football Club. So not Football Club, not strong. Cobham like the young kids and everything, right? Because like it's the fact that we've been able to like bring in some level of good talent, and now we're able to sell them for pure profit. It has helped us a lot of FFP, if you've been honest, right? And other clubs, because they don't have the similar, youth training regimen or youth training program that allows us to churn out these mid-table to lower table teams or championship table teams, which can sell for 10, 5, 15. Right now, we're almost about to sell Lewis Hall, someone that's 18 years old, for 35 to 40 million pounds. You get what I'm saying, right? They don't have that compared to us. So, listen, I think, honestly, that's a blessing in disguise that we've had. And I think this new ownership obviously hopefully can continue that. And EE says, why do we need to raise another 100 million?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
My theory right now is that I don't necessarily think it's for the guys that we've brought in. I think it's the guys they need to bring in further, if you go what I mean. Because the
future.
club, because I remember the club is probably still looking for a striker to bring in. There's a GK that we still need to bring in, if I'm not mistaken, right? And Olise is incoming. So that probably, in my opinion, means the club are thinking, okay, we need to sell these guys, but we can bring in these three, essentially, right? Although Olise is imminent, the other two that we need to bring in, like, we need to sell some players in order to balance that book, to balance the books. I don't know if you guys would agree with that or disagree with that.
AC Milan won Broja.
Yeah, I already put that up, bro.
We're
But,
almost
like,
there.
I would love to stop Broja.
But bro, whoa, hey,
We'll get there. I do want to read this, and I do want to get your opinion on this, by the way, guys, because I'm having a little bit of a... I don't know if I can wrap my head around this. So this was apparently a tweet here, and I thought it was interesting. Former Man City financial advisor Stefan Borson on Chelsea to deliberately ignore the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules in order to accelerate the success of Chelsea. That's partly because we all know in the background that Todd Boehly, for all his business success and wealth, has overpaid for Chelsea by a very considerable amount. Has he overpaid for Chelsea?
No, yeah,
Not really.
It was $4 billion. I don't think he overpaid.
It was no, not really, because like Chelsea are literally the most successful club the last 20 years. Like, I don't think so. Like, we have a huge fan base around the world. Like, we sell a lot of shit. We're normally a Champions League team. We normally win trophies every year. Like, I don't think he did. Like, no. No. And we're debt free. Like, Roman cleared the debt free and everything. Like, he doesn't have to pay for debt. It's a debt free club. Nah, it's nah. We didn't overpay. No, he didn't overpay. He's got a great club in his hands.
So this is just another form of cope because everyone's angry at us for getting all these players.
Probably.
If anything, Boehly got the club at a discount. Possibly. Yeah, I could see that.
You guys seen that guy that sang that Moises Caicedo song? He created one for Lavia.
I think I saw that. I think I saw that. Dude, these songs are great. But yeah, I mean, like, this all FFP, all this nonsense, just like a bunch of people with loud mouths just complaining and whining because they couldn't expose the same loophole. Go ahead, Shabi. What's your question, bro?
You know that article that came out about us exporting something for 2012 to 2019. Do you guys think that's gonna hit? Because I saw something like points deduction in there. Like, you know what I mean?
I think from what I know, it's because we've self-snitched essentially, because we when the new ownership came in.
Because of the previous ownership stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we actually it was stuff about the previous ownership, not the new ownership. The new ownership came forward to UEFA and the Premier League. UEFA already found us 10 million. The harshest penalty is point deduction, but I think because of what we've done and how we've come forward, it's most likely that we're gonna get like fined quite heavily. But the club already have like 100 million set aside for any fines taking place.
I don't get. They did an extensive process in selling us. How did they not find us?
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
But like one of the things that you need to realize, Javi, is that like they've only started like finding stuff out about Man City right now, and that's why there's 115 charges over like a decade. You've got Everton, who they're only charging right now after 3 years of investigating them. So, like, yeah, the Premier League, as as a financial guys who do like research and like try to like get clubs on the hook and everything, isn't really great. So.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are getting antsy about the Lewis Hall stuff. So we're gonna keep it moving, and let's go ahead on to the next topic. And guys, as always, smash up those like buttons because there is a considerable amount of you guys here. Before we hit up that news, before we hit up the Broja news, which you did just show me, Ahmed, let's hit up this news. Real quick, let's touch on this one. So, Elye Wahi,
man. Eli, bro, yo, man.
I
Don't
butchered
do the
that
names.
name.
Just let me
so
do it.
bad.
Let me do the names. You can do everything else. I'll do the names.
Elye Wahi.
Elye, how did you get Elye, bro? There's not even either.
Wahi Nahi.
Elye Wahi Nahi, Wahi Mojave. Yeah. All right. Elye Wahi has chosen to join West Ham. So it fell apart. I you know what? It looked like it wasn't going to happen. He didn't want to go back to Strasbourg. It looked like the move for him was to come to Chelsea, be a part of the team, and then go out on loan to Strasbourg. I don't think he had much interest in that. I think he was linked with the move to Fulham, and it turns out that West Ham is probably going to be the team that gets him.
West Ham. Was only either to Chelsea, to West Ham, or Eintracht Frankfurt.
I saw links to Fulham.
No, not Fulham.
Okay, well, anyways.
But with Elye Wahi, what's happened is essentially we knew he wanted to go to Strasbourg, and he didn't want to do that at the end of the day. Chelsea also had like a 30 million euro bid rejected, and I think that's probably where Chelsea's maximum was for the player. West Ham apparently bid 35 million euros for him. I don't think Chelsea are willing to do so at the end of the day. That's what it came down to. That's why he brought in Andrey's Angelo Gabriel's like teammate from Santos, David Washington, to become that
David
striker.
Washington, which we will discuss too. Yeah,
essentially, that's why we brought him in as the alternative to earlier Wahi at the end of the day. So it's pretty much it, man. We just moved. But honestly, man, it's kind of becoming concerning because if we are looking for a striker, I don't think there's that many experienced strikers out there, and you're looking for someone to compete with Nicholas Jackson. The options are starting to run out. I'll be real. So
Rami.
Yeah, I think to Rami, I don't know if the football club is gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's just,
Ray Allen.
We gotta be honest. We gotta be honest with that one. Like I think obviously there's Gift Orban. I know from Genk. He's very talented from what I know.
Tottenham are getting him.
But Tottenham's getting him as well. So you know what I'm saying. It's almost like as if the number of options we have available is actually starting to squeeze. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, I mean, anyone else disappointed about the Elye Wahi thing, or are we just gonna move on from this?
It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is. Yeah, we can't get all targets.
We've literally had too many signings to care for that one.
You win some, you lose some. On to the next one, man. That's Chelsea Football Club, man.
We win most, actually.
Exactly. There'll always be. There's always going to be new talent. There's always going to be the next, the Haaland, the next Caicedo, all that stuff. So, what's up?
Listen. Don't like to keep doing this, but there's 153 people in here, and not at 100 likes. On 17 away, there's at least 17 of you who are.
You guys don't want to make Andrew mad.
You obviously like us and the content. All we ask is to. That's why you probably tuning us even for the first time, because people smash the like button, helps the algorithm of the channel, and it gets picked up. So please, there's 160 of you now here. All I'm asking is just smash the like button. It looks like that. Wait, hang on. I'm camera thing. It looks like that. It looks like that. We'll do that one. Just smash it for me, please, and I'll stop going on about it. As soon as we hit 100 likes, I will stop asking for likes. I just want 100 likes. That's all
Andrew will go to sleep.
And I won't even put. If you do it, I won't mention it. I won't put a message in it. I won't interrupt anyone. Because I know people want to discuss Lewis Hall. The quicker you get us to 100 likes, the quicker we can discuss Lewis Hall, as everyone seems to want to do. And Broja was broken this evening. So get us to 100 likes, please. And subscribe as well.
All I need is one like.
We've had about 14 new subscribers during the stream. We're close.
Nice. Thank you, guys.
38 away from 2,200. So let's keep this going. Subscribe to the Bridge 258 as well, please.
I'm literally 9 away from 800, guys.
Get into 1,000
this guy.
likes.
This ain't about you right now, Ahmed.
You had to, man.
Get us past two things. Get us past 2,200 likes before September 1st transfer deadline, and get Ahmed to 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs by the September 1st deadline. Please, just do it, and I won't mention it anymore. I won't mention it anymore.
There you go. You guys are 3 likes away from 100, by the way. We're getting very close. All right? You're getting very close. So, guys, smash up that like button. 3 more away. We won't mention it after every damn segment. So, let's go on to the next topic, which is Broja. All right, we're going to discuss this. This is just breaking out right now as we speak, but let's discuss. So I had one tweet here from yesterday, I believe. Jose Mourinho's Roma have asked for information on Armando Broja. AC Milan are also there, but at the moment, Chelsea don't want to loan him, coming from Di Marzio. And then today, this broke out. So understand, AC Milan and Roma, along with Bundesliga and Premier League clubs, want Broja this summer. Interested to see what happens. Guys, what are we thinking about this? Because the way I see it, I'm not ready to let go of this player, because I do want to see what happens. But at the same time, he does need to get his feet wet again with the loan or something. But also at the same time, thank you guys for 105 likes. Awesome. You guys, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. So with Broja, I'm on 2 fields. I want him to stay at Chelsea. I want to see what he's capable of, because I do think this player is good. But he also does need game time to recover from that horrible ACL injury he got. Ahmed, you were going to say something. Go ahead, man.
Oh wow, thank you. I didn't even say anything. I was about to say everybody.
All right, never mind.
No,
Xavi?
No, but on a serious note with Broja, I probably feel you can do the same deal. If you want to sell him, you can do a similar deal to what you did with Tammy Abraham, where you sell him, you can have this little buyback price that you can buy him back at, bring this either first or second season, which you can activate. I think that's pretty much simple. Or you can have like first refusal rights if he does good. At the end of the day, obviously he's had an ACL injury, which is a massive injury. He still needs to recover from that. We don't know if he's going to be the same player. He was a very explosive player as well, if you remember back then. So it's going to be interesting to see. And again, if you're not going to be able to move some players off your books, obviously Hall was already in one. Chalobah's probably got another one you're going to be able to move on. And if like one player, doesn't want to move on, you could probably let sell Broja, in my opinion. But we'll see.
I was
Gentlemen?
gonna say I would happily say sell if it's a good price, 30 million or something, because I wasn't even convinced before he came to Chelsea, because I actually thought he's okay at Southampton. He didn't really do anything too special. He had his moments. He didn't really score a lot of goals for a striker. When he came on to play for Chelsea, I think he played a couple of times. He did look okay. He got one goal. I think he definitely got one goal for Chelsea, and
Good goal too.
and then it was a good goal actually. I think it's outside the box actually, bottom corner. But he had that big injury, and after that, he could get a lot worse. He could get worse. Of course, he can be fine and pull out of it and be better still and improve, but. I would sell and just maybe get another cheap striker, scout a striker there, from the French league or whatever. I'm not too bothered if he goes. A loan would be not. I wouldn't even mind a loan. A loan would be nice as well, so we can actually get game
I think
time,
a loan would be ideal, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I
But
know.
at the
I know
same
you would
time-
keep him.
At the same time, we are looking for a striker to compete with Jackson, and the last show we discussed that it's potential that Broja is being blocked from moves because they see him as competition or not competition. I shouldn't say competition, because I think overall we're going to see Jackson just start, but as a backup to Jackson. Listen, he might not be at the same caliber, but he's a striker. We don't necessarily have a striker, and Kunku's out until January. I don't know if Olise is going to fill in for this. I don't see Olise being a striker in that position.
No.
I also exactly. And Kudus, if we get Kudus, which it
He's
could
not a
happen.
striker.
He's also not a striker, but he plays like one similarly. But again, we don't have a designated striker. So if Jackson gets hurt, which could happen at the season, then who do you depend on?
Just because one plays a striker does not mean he's a striker. You know what I'm saying? Let's let you live, man.
Kudus doesn't even play striker, and I've seen people
Exactly.
talk about this false nine bullshit. I don't want to see another fucking false nine at this football club
This
again.
guy is
Like,
best position is the right wing.
Bro,
He's a right
at
winger.
least for a little while, man. I'm too traumatized with the false footballer we had up front last season, man. I'm traumatized. Give me an actual proper striker, please. Like someone who's
Okay.
like an out and out.
Even Hazard has false nine.
Listen,
Never
we've
has
got a
got.
burster, man. I'm saying we've got a burster, Dory. He'll cook. You know what I'm saying, guys.
Oh, true, Bursto.
I'm
Yeah,
putting your
that's
leg,
true.
by the way, guys. It's not. This is just in jest. He's definitely not ready either. So, and also again, barring maybe a Taremi, if you want an experienced striker, the market is short of strikers that you can get right now. So.
I don't know about this one, pal. I don't know about this one. That's Dybala.
Again,
That's kind of
again,
wild.
Not the striker.
Not a striker. Yeah.
He does play strike for Roma as well. He is a
No, he
10 as
doesn't.
well.
What? He was
Okay,
playing
wait,
behind-
he plays
he was
more of a
playing behind
false
Tammy
nine.
Abraham.
What?
He was playing behind Tammy
I
Abraham.
say he
bro.
plays,
No, but he
he
also-
plays as a second striker.
Yeah.
He's not a single number 9. He's not a lone number 9. That's what I'm talking about.
What's going on?
You might have a point there, because I did see him as a strike next to
I'm
Tammy.
thinking, okay, with.
I don't think he's played as a lone number 9.
Wishy.
I'm fairly certain he hasn't played as a lone number 9 since he moved to Juve.
Nobody played. I can.
So I don't watch the Serie A.
I think that's the last time he played as a number like a lone number 9. It was at Palermo, I think, before he moved to Juve, and then his first season or so at Juve. And that's it.
Sterling up front is,
I think there's. What are we talking about? Sorry, I had a.
Broja.
You done what I do, Andrew.
Yeah, but the striker replacement, I still think there's legs in Lukaku.
Really?
You
know what I
Hold
said,
on.
guys? I wanna hear-
Let's really quick. I have the one tweet that Ahmed showed me. Let's transition into that
think
then.
there is.
Here we go.
Go
So
ahead.
this is gonna work.
seen it over the last couple of days. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I think Juve will try again for Romelu Lukaku in the next days. It's come from DiMarzio. I mean, Andrew could be right, but I don't know. This is a weird
I
one.
was actually gonna say.
I don't think the thing is, they don't have the funds to buy him outright. I don't think
They don't have
pay
the
for
funds.
45, and they want to get ZIYECH off and him in, because I think then they will soften their initial wanting of 40 million plus Lukaku, and we will try and get it like 30 on or just under with their desperation. I just think it's an option. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not an ITK because I have more things going on in my life. And so yeah, that's just a guess. That's just a very very rough guess. But I just don't rule it out. Otherwise, as we know, September 1st is the deadline. However, the Saudi Arabian League has a September 7th deadline. So if he doesn't go by September 1st, then that's his only option, is to leave Chelsea, is to go to the Saudi Arabian League. Or maybe the Turkish League, but then no one's in Turkey that can afford him. So
yeah. I just want to ask a question.
No
guys,
one in Turkey will probably take him. I'll be honest.
No,
Look at the teams.
Yes.
They've Galatasaray have already sorted their striker position.
yeah,
Besiktas, I don't know what their striker position is looking like.
they couldn't afford him anyway.
Yeah.
Fenerbahce have already sorted their striker situation.
So wait, would you guys took that swap, that Vlahovic swap?
Nope.
I
would have.
I would.
I would have just to get.
Why not?
Because I think it's quite clear. Like, say what you want, right? But the only thing we can really go on off is reports, whether that's any transfer. So I don't really want to hear about, but like it's only reports or whatnot. We believe reports when it comes to transfers we want to hear. So let's believe the reports for transfers we don't want to hear, like for the stuff we don't want to hear. All reports are coming out saying that by all reports that we're hearing, the club and Pochettino are not sold on Vlahovic. At that point, it's a no-go. At that point, it's an immediate no-go. You should never be signing a player that you're unsure about and not 100% in on just because it benefits you in terms of getting rid of a player. That's fucking stupid, because in a year's time, you can end up in the same situation with Vlahovic. That's just stupid. It should be a no-go at that moment. Unless the club and or Pochettino are 100% sold on Vlahovic as a player, you should not be going after him at all.
I think it's different. I think they want a player, but it's about what Juventus want in terms of the price. There's no way we're going to pay 40 million euros and give him it's basically an 85 to 90 million euro deal. I just don't think we're going to do that. I think we'll go as high as 30 or under. I really do. I think Poch wants the player, but they're not going to go all out for him because of the price. That's the thing. And what makes it even more, if we don't get him, I see us keeping the Brazilian kid until January. And I see us ramping up. Well, some reports he might not go.
Oh, interesting.
But we might keep it. That's why I say keep it until January, and you might see the stories of Ivan Toney ramp up.
Can I offer an alternative, guys? Yeah, I offered this on stream. Yeah, it's a hot take. But
Christ.
would you take Nottingham Forest Tyler Awoniyi as one of the strikers possibly?
Who?
That we could
Depending on the price, I would.
Yes.
Depending on the price, I would.
That's what I'm saying to you. So
That is not a crazy shout. Like,
What did you say? Who did you say?
Tyler
Awoniyi.
Awoniyi.
Who's
You
that?
know,
Who scored against Arsenal? The guy.
Yeah, the dude who scored against Arsenal.
Sorry. Yeah, he's in my draft team.
he's got a great hold-up play, in my opinion. Could help to at least interlink between the wingers. I honestly think...
The only thing is, it's like, because it's quite a quandary, right? Because if you think about it, the option of Ivan Toney is there, right? Now, do you do a short-term loan, say for 6 months, right, or whatever it is, till January, knowing that, or do you do the loan anyway because Ivan Toney might need a few weeks to get sharp, right? Because he won't have played for over 8 months. So it's quite a contrary. Whatever happens, we do need if Broja's not going to be here, we do need backup for Jackson. And of course, remember, got a Lukaku coming back at the start of next year as well.
Yeah.
So you have to really be. You have to, and they have done. So I'll back them because this window's been fantastic. You have to back them to get the correct decision so far, or to make the correct decision. That would be the thing. So what are you going to do, or do you buy a Kudus and just say shit? We'll just go a bit and play a false nine if something happens. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
What you
It's
saying
lovely
about
to
Even
have
if you
so
buy
many
Kudus,
options.
you just supercharge in the right wing. Like at that point, buying Kudus
No,
is
he
like
plays in the middle. He's better in the middle, not the right wing. He's better in the middle.
no, Kudus is better on the right wing than he's in the middle.
He's not.
He's
He's
a
better
bad
in the
10.
middle.
I don't know. Seems
I
like
would
he's a
say
better
no,
10
man.
from what I've
I
seen.
don't know. I haven't watched him.
Well, I speak to Jez, and Jez said he's better in the middle. So,
Fair enough.
and he watches a lot of European football. So,
That is true. Yeah.
actually, do you know what? I'll ask Strasbourg Steve.
Yeah, I was going to mention Steve. Steve
Shout out
watches a lot of
Strasbourg
football.
Steve.
I'm ex Rambo.
If I'm on a profile on a player, I'll ask Strasbourg Steve. He's watched every fucking game there is going in.
But
Why do
speaking
you see
of,
the noise?
No, I'm not.
Speaking
I
of-
don't know. Javi, I don't know when this guy works as well, Javi. He doesn't like sit there and watch football. I don't
Yeah.
know when he gets time to sleep.
nah, that guy eats,
Javi.
sleeps, and breeds
I
football.
swear he's a walking
Encyclopedia.
phone or something. You know what I mean? They're just charging like that. They're always like coked up on whatever. You know what I mean?
Coked up on football. That's what he's coked
Yeah,
up on.
coked up on Red Bull. Or something. He is.
All we want is Caicedo.
We got him.
Speaking of players through the middle, let's go ahead and discuss this guy. It's officially done. It's officially
I like that.
official. Oh, it's officially official. Officially confirmed.
official.
Official confirmed. Cesar Casadei had joined Leicester City on loan deal from Chelsea back in June. Enzo Maresca, key to make a deal happen. I think I have one more tweet in regards to this as well. Cesar Casadei would complete his move to Leicester City on loan from Chelsea today. Documents are ready after deal agreed last week. Enzo Maresca already made contact with Casadei as he's set to join the club. Here we go, confirmed. I mean, I think we've discussed this a little bit. We'll just bring it back up. I personally think a Premier League loan would have been perfect for him. But you know what? I think Championship, he's going to develop. I could see him being player of the season potentially. I'll put my neck out on that. I just think that he's of the Premier League level. I think Championship, I think he's just going to rock out in the Championship. I think he's going to be a rock star. I think he's going to do perfectly amazing. He might even be player of the season. I'll stick my neck out for Casadei. It's how much I've been impressed by the kid. But guys, what do we think about this one?
So, my fear of Casadei is our recent midfield recruitment.
Mhm.
That
Just thinking
he'll
that
come back
Andrew.
next summer and we will loan him
be.
again to a Premier League club. Okay. My fear is that if the others click and Andrey Santos clicks, he will never play for this club.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I mean, it's brutal honesty. It's honestly, we're at that point in the club. The level is so high.
Honestly,
But
man,
guys,
I'm worried
that's
for
what's gonna
Chukwemeka, man.
happen.
I'm worried for Chukwemeka, bro.
This is,
Can't lie to
but
you.
we got to remember we're aiming to get in Europe too. So maybe
Yeah, but
not all of them will not play, but some of them will not play.
Okay, so
Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Say we keep playing getting Cuckoo fit. Say we go back to a 2 pivot, right? So at the moment you've got you've got Caicedo and Enzo first choice. You've got Lavia there back up, and if Andrey Santos clicks, Andrey Santos, right? Casadei comes in, he's automatically 5th choice, right? As we go forward, yeah, in those positions, and then I like you said, just concentrate on him because Chukwemeka's a further option up front, like further up. I just think he might be one of those that, unfortunately, we never get to see his full potential at Chelsea, unless, like saying, Andrey Santos doesn't click or doesn't.
Almost like another De Bruyne.
No,
That's how I feel about him.
no, it's not another De Bruyne.
you've gone too
it
far,
just means-
man.
No, I'm just saying, like, I could see him being that kind of profile.
No, it might be. No, it could be sort of like a Pogba thing. You just let
He
him go
definitely
and
has
comes
the goal
back from there.
scoring. He has a goal scoring, but I don't see
I
that
agree, but-
final pass in him.
But the thing is,
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, because remember, we got to remember the ages of the guys we've already got in midfield. They're not like 4 or 5 years old, and it's kind of like 1 or 2.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not as if he's like going to go, yeah, I'm going to get this next year because the other guy's going to be too old. It's like, shit, when am I going to get my turn?
Even then, the ages aren't too far apart. Casadei's 19 and Romeo Lavia's 19. You know,
Enzo in the 4 we've got now in the midfield, Enzo's the most experienced due to age, and he's only 22. Caicedo's 21. Lavia and Santos, I think, are both 19. Right? So, and Casadei's what? Is he 18 or the same? 19?
19, like I believe.
19.
That's what I mean. So he's not. There's a
Not too far off.
There's a 3-year difference between the oldest and the youngest. It's not a lot.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a lot. So my fear is that he may be not a victim, but a casualty of the business that we've done that we need to do in the midfield. Unfortunately,
Casualty FC.
It'll be good for us because hopefully those guys click. It might be bad for him because he will never get the opportunity to. But then again, if they're doing what I think they're doing, they bought him for like what, 12 million, 15 million, something like that. Ugo Chukwu, another one. And they might sell him for double or triple the price. Do you know what I mean? And then again, it's just profit again. That's what we have been doing in the first place.
It's
Yeah,
really
this one
harsh,
might be
but it's a hard
He
truth.
might be gone. And I can see him doing really well in Italian club come for him.
Yeah, I can see him. Yeah, if they get the finances sorted, I can see Milan and Juventus and Inter come falling for him.
I can definitely see it.
An option.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if he doesn't make it, I'm sure we're going to make a lot of profit off this player. We only bought him for around 20 million euros, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
If he kills it in championship, which I think he will, I'm telling you right now, I think he's going to be in contention for player of the season. Then we're talking maybe flip him for 60, 80 million euro. Who knows?
I don't think from the championship, what might happen is if Leicester get promoted, you can see him go and loan again there for the season, like a second season loan. Maybe not even with an option to buy, because if he balls out, you want more. And if you think he's not going to get the breakthrough there, you want more competition to buy him, right? Because people will then say, oh yeah, he did so well for Leicester.
Yeah.
Another Premier League club might come in and offer like 40, 45, 50, something like that. You know.
You have to look at someone like Maatsen, for example. I know early in the window, like the club wanted like 25 million for him, but like no one was coming in for him, even though he had a great season at Burnley. So
Fair enough.
You give him a season of Prem, he looks good, great. You know, the price goes up in the Prem.
Yeah, no, he's right.
That's true.
He's right.
He's very true. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll have to track his future and see what happens. But on to the next topic, which, by the way, ladies and gents, we're going to get very close to Lewis Hall. Stick around. We're getting very close to talking about Lewis Hall. We're a few more topics away, but I wanted to discuss this player right here. Petrovic links. So for those of you who do not know, Petrovic is a goalkeeper that we are linked with at supposedly going to be competing with Sanchez. Unfortunately, things didn't really work out. So let me discuss here what's going on. So POIS reporting, Chelsea are considering, I'm not even going to try that one, Petrovic as a potential backup option to Robert Sanchez, according to McGrath.
It's Georgie, by the way, is how you say his first name.
Georgie? Oh, okay. I was not going to be anywhere close to that. So Petrovic has been on the club's radar since playing for New England Revolution in the MLS. I haven't done too much research on this guy.
What a wacky name. Can I say that, man? New England Revolution. What the hell was that, man?
It almost looks like Dulabaji, the first part, bro.
Listen,
You know what, man?
I'm pretty sure the name was made in the 90s.
I definitely thought that, you almost think that was like an NBA team, bro. The way they say something like that, man.
So in response to this tweet, with Kepa Arrizabalaga leaving Chelsea or leaving for Real Madrid, Mauricio Pochettino needs a new number 2, and one possibility being considered is Petrovic, who has been on the club's radar since the New England Revolution. In response to that, we have New England Revolution value Petrovic at £24 million. Petrovic only wants to move to a number 1 goalkeeper and has a lot of other interests in Europe. I mean, I haven't looked too much into this. I saw a highlight that he had 4 saves in the span of like 20 seconds, which is pretty impressive, but that's just a highlight, obviously. Not the whole profile of the
Kepa
player.
could do that, man. Triple save in like, I don't know, 15 seconds. So any keeper.
I mean, he
did.
did 3. Yeah, he did 3 last season. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
like saved the season.
Yeah, true.
24 million seems a bit steep actually for a guy who's very unknown. Like we got Mendy. I felt like he's more known for like less than that money as well.
I mean, to be fair though, Chris, we have been paying this amount of money for a lot of youths that no one knows about. It's a ballpark number.
And I think it's kind of mad. Like he's demanding first team, like starting position, right? You just said.
Sure.
Yeah, like that's kind of mad. Like he should be like competition. Like you should compete for it. Like if he's better than Sanchez, then yeah. But yeah, I don't know nothing about that guy. I never even heard of that name once until now.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone in here know anything? I mean, actually, Scott, you watch some of the MLS.
Yeah, he's a very good shot stopper. Like he's an excellent shot stopper. There is a potential that actually no, there's a high likelihood that he's better than their previous goalkeeper, Matt Turner, who was very good at the end.
Oh wow!
Like he is. This isn't going to sound much for people that don't watch the MLS, but he is probably up there as the best goalkeeper currently in the MLS. And considering they sold Matt Turner, I think they sold Matt Turner for at least 8 figures when they did. I want to say I think it was between about 8 to 10 mil. I think dollars that was. I think, and they rejected a bid from Nottingham Forest. I want to say. They rejected a bid from Nottingham Forest earlier on in the window for $10 million plus add-ons. They've also had interest from Nantes in France from him, but yeah, he is good enough to come to Europe and whatnot. He's good enough to start for a bunch of teams in Europe as a quality shot stopper, like amazing. Don't know about how good he is with like his feet and playing out from the back, but as a shot stopper, he's unbelievable.
Where Slonina went?
Belgium. Some
on loan.
Belgium.
Yo, we still have Milan Sarr on our books.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Yo, I forgot about that. Yeah, we do.
He's currently injured.
Yeah, so he can't even pass the medical if he wanted to.
How old is Petrovic, by the way? Is he 24 or something?
23.
How old is he?
Shit.
23.
Goalkeeper.
I just.
Petrovic. Yeah, he's very young.
So the goalkeeping situation is very, very interesting. So we bring this Petrovic guy in. What's I say about Slonina? You know what I mean? I know he's 18, but stuff like that. Then we've got Sanchez, who's 25. And do you know what? I even think it doesn't matter really if Sanchez even performs well this year, that we might still go get a goalkeeper next summer.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like,
Why we do?
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't know what happens. I don't care.
Wait, listen, I'm not here to be the squad planner, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the squad planner here. We'll just let them handle it, you know what I'm saying?
I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm just happy.
I will say this, because I personally, when it comes to shot stopping, really rate the American goalkeepers that have gone through, the team and the history of the national team. I will say, for those of you who are watching the Premier League this season, other teams other than Chelsea, keep a close eye on Matt Turner. I think he's gonna do bits for Nottingham. He won't keep a lot of clean sheets, but look at the amount of saves that he's gonna have. I think. No, I'm just listen. Just watch. Just watch.
The other American goalkeepers that
I think we play them early.
So I'm going to get a lot of points.
Yeah, listen.
He's in my FPL.
I'm just saying, people are already making moves for him in the FPL.
Johnston's
my
the one
backup
right now.
I think
Yeah.
he's mine as well. So.
Yeah. So, but listen, like he wasn't getting playtime at Arsenal because of Ramsdale, and especially now with Raya coming in. So rightfully so, he went to a team where he's going to start on like Reyna. Was Reyna the other one that was back up to Ederson? Forgot his name. That's how irrelevant he's become.
We'll take
Zach. No,
before him.
Stefan.
Stefan lost his spot in the U.S. national team because he wasn't playing. Matt Turner overtook that spot, and Stefan was playing in Man City. So I would say keep a close eye on Turner, because that guy will be impressive, and that'll probably give you some context as how American keeper. There's a certain style that American keepers have that I've noticed, and we're gonna see with Slonina and all them.
I just find it fascinating. That's this goalkeeper situation.
With the goalkeeper thing, the thing that bothers me a little bit about the whole thing, from in regards to like the fans, is I dislike this idea that we should just not get anyone because of Slonina, because
Yeah.
we're kind of banking on him becoming basically the next Courtois. And it's
A lot
like
of pressure on that.
you can't really do that. Like you can't really do that with anyone in terms of like if guys are good enough, right? Like if Slonina is as good as we think he is, they can get to the level we think he is. None of the guys we buy, unless we're buying Allison or potentially Manyan, like none of the guys we buy should be stopping him from getting in the team. If they are, he's not as good as we think he is. Like if he comes back next season, right, and he's not good enough to displace Sanchez or Petrovic, say we buy him, he's not good enough at that point, which means he may need another loan. And say in 2 or 3 years' time, we have a Costas. Let's say we have Diogo Costa in 2 or 3 years' time. He comes back and he still can't displace him. At that point, he might not be good enough.
Well, I just think so. The thing with Slonina, he's 18, right?
Yep.
My only issue is like he's way too young for a goalkeeper to be in the team. I think. Also, I think if we get like someone like a Diogo Costa, it doesn't matter who it is, he'd be our number one. Unless he flops like really badly, he would be the number one. And he's only 24, 25, I think. So my thing with Slonina is I think he might be another one who never really plays for us. Do you know what I mean? So
It's a reality, man.
Yeah.
I think Slonina will, but I think people need to stop
very
it.
young. He's very young.
He is young,
Very
but
young.
like we said that about Courtois, to be fair. I think it's just it's about his development.
How old was Courtois when he started for Chelsea? Or he made his debut at
He was
least?
young. And this was, I'm not saying Slonina's going to start like next year.
23, 22?
No, 22, 23, I think he was. Because I think he's 30,
I think,
31 now.
Scott, maybe you disagree with me on this one. I think keepers, when they're that young, they're bound to make a lot of mistakes. And I think it takes time for those mistakes to get developed out of them. Hence, you don't, I mean, I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass with this one. I don't think I see goalkeepers make their debut until 22, 23, you know?
Let me check something.
I could be totally wrong about that.
Hang on, give me a second. I'm gonna have to do maths here. It's not working.
Yeah, take your time.
Hang on, if
Guys,
someone
I
was-
actually want to ask you.
if someone started playing,
Oh, go ahead, bro.
if someone
Scott.
started playing in 1995, what year? How old would they have been if they're 45 now?
That's 28.
Nice. Maths is not a thing we
Yeah,
do
it's
here.
that-
Can you repeat that again, please? Can you repeat that? Actually,
28. Hang on, they'd have been 17, 18.
Yeah.
You're gonna say
Cool.
Buffon right now?
Yes.
I didn't know
I
that.
Started
know.
in Serie B or Serie A. Let me check. Serie A.
I have a question.
Serie A was good, by the way. Go ahead,
In 1995.
Xavi.
I don't mean to switch, but I'm just thinking, right? We got Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Lavia, Andrey Santos.
Yeah.
I rate Andrey Santos highly. What do you guys think? Is it better for him to get experience elsewhere or stay as a backup squad option and just, kind of?
I think he's probably gonna be staying as a backup squad option, even if you.
No, what do you think is better though? He's saying like.
I don't know. I'm saying what I'm thinking is gonna happen in reality, and then what I would want. I don't know, but the thing is, like, if you were to send him out on loan, where would you want to send him out on loan to? Like, the thing is, I don't know. Like, I have to.
There's a lot of interest in him. Lots.
But like, if you send him like to a lower Premier League team, for example, is that gonna really help his development? Right, that's like I don't think so. Maybe send him to like a mid-table Premier League club where he may be able to get a spot at. I think that would be probably a lot more of a viable option for him.
I disagree. I totally disagree. This is a perfect situation for him. Everyone was clamoring for him to start. He's all right. He can be our six. He can do this and do that. Way too much pressure on a kid to come into a Chelsea team like that. We needed to recruit them. He needs to stay. He can be. If we're going to play free for a while. Yes, it probably gives them even more of an option to play. If we play over free, we can actually develop this kid as this kid should actually be developed in his first season at a big club. Comes in now and again, a few minutes here and there, starts a cup game, something like that, develops more and builds and builds and builds as it actually should be developed, not thrown in. And that's what I want. Sending him out on loan at this point, and you might say, well, you're sending Casadei out on loan. Well, they obviously favour Andrey Santos more than Casadei at this moment in time. I think that keeping him is better for his development and do that. That's what I would do. It's a perfect option for him. No pressure on this kid this season whatsoever. at this moment.
And
in time.
I would add to that is that Alexis said this when we were doing a review of the Fulham game. He came in here and he said something about. Oh, no. He said something about there's some value in getting minutes off the bench at Chelsea than to go on to another team, and I think I personally believe that for Casadei. Obviously, majority of fans disagree, but I think that is something for Santos that he could actually benefit from. You have players like Enzo. I'm not going to say Lavia because I think he still needs to learn as well, but you have players like Enzo and Caicedo who you could learn from, who you can like absorb and be like a sponge in that team.
Thiago Silva's there still.
And Thiago Silva's there too. So, and there's a Brazilian relationship there. Obviously, Santos is going to look up to Thiago Silva, and eventually he wants to be in the national team as well as a player. So there's going to be a lot of advice given to him, and I think it's going to be beneficial for Santos to be in this team. So
Poch has a chance to really, as do with most of the other players, really.
People underestimate this, but the fact that, I know Santos speaks Portuguese, but there's not too much of a gap to bridge when it comes to understanding the languages. But the fact that like Poch is South American, speaks Spanish, and there's a little bit less of a language barrier there, it's going to help a lot when it comes to getting the module, understanding the tactics, understanding all that.
I'm sure, because they all didn't do it in this sense. I'm sure that's what played a part in the Caicedo bit as well.
Yeah. Caicedo said it too. It helped him a lot.
Coming from the same background, sort of, There's no doubt that these guys, they didn't grow up rich. They know what the hard life is, stuff like that. They know what looking after families about, stuff like that. That's like you said. It's like I think most of the team probably will have to start speaking Spanish and French anyway. So look at the squad.
True.
With the old Ukraine Bolt on the wing. That's the one.
But coming back to coming back to the topic of the goalkeeper situation, we're gonna have to see what happens with Slonina. Other than Buffon, is there another example of someone who's like started as a goalkeeper really young and like, Donnarumma? I guess you could say that, yeah. And I'm
not saying it's like, as I said, I'm not expecting him to start within the next couple of seasons, right? Like, I think this season, obviously, he's out on loan. I think next season he'll probably get out on loan, maybe even the season after. I'm thinking after that, that's 3 years of loans, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that point, he's going to be, 21? At that point, you should be able to work out if he's good enough to be involved in the squad after 3 years of loans, especially if they're at a decent level. Like, obviously, he's gone to the Belgian league, gone to a decent team, I think, Eupen are. I don't know too much. I did a little bit of research, can't remember too much about where they are. But if he goes to that sort of level, if he goes next season to maybe, let's just pull a name out of he goes to like a Frankfurt, say, and then the year after he goes to a Premier League club. At that point, you can judge whether he's good enough. So I think I'm just not writing him off now. I think he's based on what people have said about him, he's got the talent, and he's got the trajectory of getting there. It's whether he can get there.
Plus, I'm also sure there will be a season, whether it be the next or the following one, where he comes in, he's the backup keeper, and he plays the cup games, and then we can see where he's at in his development as well. So, we'll see.
I would, if we get another goalkeeper and it's Diogo Costa and he bangs, this Slonina kid, if he's good, won't be at Chelsea.
If he's good, he either won't be at Chelsea or has a really steep hill to climb.
He won't stick to be number 2. You know what I mean? Just like egos won't allow it.
We got a lot of players.
Can I ask a question, by the way?
He's 6 years younger than him. So
I want to ask a question in regards to another player. Now, obviously, you spoke about Santos. There's another guy that's also there called Carney Chukwemeka. What's going on?
Actually, hold on to the Carney. We're very close to that kind of topic, actually.
Before you get that, I did just look up, by the way, as well. Manuel Neuer started playing for Schalke at 21, and Casillas started playing at 18.
Okay.
The only thing I would give to this goalkeeping situation, Casillas is the only one I can think of top of my head. I'm not even going to put Donnarumma in this, who legitimately started at a really young age at a massive club. Do you know what I mean? Don't like
Yeah, that is a massive
Neuer's
club.
at Schalke. The rest work themselves up. Casillas is
I mean,
the only
Schalke
one-
was pretty big back in the day.
No.
They weren't
They were
Bayern.
big, but no, I get what Andrew's saying.
know,
Yeah,
They
I
were
get what you're
big
saying, yeah.
in
No,
German
no,
football,
we
but
talk
they
about
weren't
Dortmund,
Bayern
Bayern
at the time.
Yeah, you know,
I remember Man United smacked them in the semifinals. I was like, what the fuck?
that's the biggest achievement they've had in the past.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And just quickly,
But-
I know someone asked us about Bono. Bono is going to Al Hilal, guys. Just for everyone that doesn't
Yes.
know, like that's literally confirmed, by the way.
Speaking of Casillas, by the way, let's let's go ahead and discuss the next Casillas. Let's this man, he had some comments I thought were interesting. Florentino
Dubai. That was interesting
Florentino
comment.
Perez. Kepa had big offers on the table, but he decided to join us. He only wanted Real Madrid. Deal completed on loan from Chelsea, no buy option clause. Look at this man. He's getting married again. So, and then Kepa had this to say. Kepa on his future. I hope that with my performance, Real Madrid will decide to keep me after the loan. This club is legendary. And Matisse and Bottom, we pray.
Hey,
bro.
the feeling is mutual. Like,
Yes. I mean, I hope he kicks it at Real Madrid. I think it's obviously we needed him off our wages, but it could potentially be something where it's a blessing in disguise, and he goes there and he cooks.
I hope he wins in the Champions League, and then he can stay there for the rest of it.
I'm grateful Real Madrid took him. I have no idea how anyone in both boardrooms of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid looked at Kepa and thought, he will solve our goalkeeping issues, even online. I'm grateful, so grateful, but this guy, I mean, he must have a horseshoe up his ass or something like that to get these two offers. You know what I mean? He must wear 7-leaf clover on his. Yeah, I don't know what this guy. Tell me the lottery numbers, please, Kepa. I want the lottery numbers for next week. So,
I really couldn't give a absolute Scooby Doo about what's it called? Kepa.
don't
Quite
swear
literally.
like that, please.
Yeah, see, I'm swearing very heavily there. Listen, man, let's move on, man. Why are we talking about Kepa? But he's gone. You know what I mean? That one of the biggest curses on
Come
this
on,
football
man.
club.
All
When
right.
the position is
Have
gone.
some respect for Kepa. Come on, like he did
No,
well.
No
Never.
respect.
Never. Never.
Listen. Have some respect for yourself, Chris, man, by saying those two
I've
words.
got-
He had a
No,
decent couple of seasons with us. Come
Chris,
on,
Oh
have some
my
respect.
God.
I've got respect for him, but the letters DIS is before that.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
So Jesus Christ. But hey, listen. I hope he does well in Real Madrid, because that's
Okay.
one extensive wage off of our bill that we don't need. So let me get this next segment in. But before we do, ladies and gents, if you haven't done so already, smash up the like buttons. We do appreciate everyone that has joined us so far. Let's go on and discuss the next bit of news, which you guys have been waiting for. Let's discuss Lewis Hall leaving on a permanent. All right, here we go. So let's this story really ramped up in the last 24 hours. So here we go. Fabrizio Romano, Newcastle are keen on signing Lewis Hall from Chelsea as new fullback, as Crystal Palace deal is in standby. Probably, and we'll discuss this, probably because of the whole Olise thing, but we'll see. Hall signed new 6-year deal at Chelsea, but could leave on loan. Not easy to find way due to FFP, but Newcastle interest is genuine. Moving on to the next tweet. Then we have Newcastle are keen on signing Lewis Hall from Chelsea. Crystal Palace loan has stalled. Hall signed new 6-year deal at Chelsea, but could leave on loan somewhere else. Breaking: Chelsea have put teenager Lewis Hall up for sale, but are asking for around £30 million amid interest from Newcastle United. Hall, 18, agreed new contract this summer until 2030, and the original intention had been for him to go on loan. This is coming from Sam Wallace of The Telegraph. Moving on. Felix Johnson going on a rant. So let's he has some information here, but we gotta call it as we see it, boys. So Chelsea are considering a permanent sale for Lewis Hall after delaying his loan move to Palace. Hall has already signed his new 6+1 year contract and a pre-contract agreement with Palace, expecting to move on loan last week, but is now left in limbo. Newcastle have had interest for a very long time and had a 17 million pound bid already rejected this summer. And Reactionary FC is back. Seriously, fuck Chelsea. They rejected 2 bids for Hall earlier in the window, said he wasn't for sale. Then they agreed on a loan and said he had to sign a long-term extension. They then said he didn't need to as player was reluctant. Then once everything was agreed, hold on. Okay, I lost my place. Says everything long term. Then they said he didn't need to sign. His player was reluctant. Then once everything was agreed, they said they needed a long-term extension again. The player reluctantly agreed. They delayed the signing, then signed the 6+1 with all of this on the premise that he'd go on loan to Palace. He signed a pre-contract to Palace, and then for no good reason, he has been waiting for over a week to join and hasn't been allowed. Now suddenly, they're considering a permanent sale. How disrespectful. Anyways, let's hope Chelsea come to the senses, stop toying with Hall and Palace around, and just let him leave on loan. A contract signed, pre-agreement signed. If a certain director wants to stop this clown fest, he can. Oh, now he's a clown again. Okay, well, let's continue on. David Ornstein dagger to mud the fucking emotional Chelsea fans. Newcastle working on deal to sign Lewis Hall after multiple bids rebuffed. New offer in. Chelsea preferred Crystal Palace loan, but 18-year-old favors permanent play UCL under Howe. CFC have left back depth, plus Hall grew up a Newcastle fan. Price £35 million. Felix Johnson, you're the clown. You're the clown.
Whoa. Let's calma.
Tell me.
Let's chill out, guys. All right, you know what I'm saying.
I think it's gonna Johnson's sources now.
Yeah, listen.
Also, one more thing before you go. Actually, Ahmed, sorry. One more thing. Absolute Chelsea here. Chelsea secured Lewis Hall to a new long-term contract, but Newcastle's interest has remained, and they have since made another offer. Chelsea initially preferred Hall joining Crystal Palace on loan. Go ahead, Ahmed. Go.
I personally think whether or not he's a Newcastle fan actually matters, in my opinion. I'm gonna just state that for the record. I think what has probably happened is the club were initially happy to get Lewis Hall on a 6+1 year deal. They agreed to that and everything. They were happy for him to do a loan. But I think what's happened in the recourse of what's happened, obviously with Caicedo, Lavia, and the possibility that they now need to bring in other stuff, has led to this happening. I also think we need to realize right now, Cucurella sadly is a depreciated asset right now. He's going to be extremely, extremely hard to move on. Like one of the reports that actually got released said that Newcastle and Chelsea were actually discussing a possible move for Cucurella initially for a loan with like an option to buy, but
more expensive.
But again, it was just too expensive. A and B, like Cucurella is just too hard to move right now, considering the fact he's had a bad season. He's not looked good in preseason either. So it is what it is. And the thing with Lewis Hall is that he's going to be pure profit at the end of the day for the club. So. And it's really and like if you think about it, I know that this is something that's been said. It was between Lewis Hall, I think, and Ian Maatsen. Who would you choose personally if you had a choice between Lewis Hall and Ian Maatsen? For me personally, I prefer Ian Maatsen, but that's just me at the end of the day. So and like this guy wasn't even starting in preseason. I think CFC 2023 makes a good point. This guy was not starting in preseason. Like it was as if the club didn't want him. They were trying to basically essentially just move him on already in the background, whether we like it or not.
There are 3 players ahead of him, ladies and gents. Cucurella, Chilwell. And as much as you don't rate those first 2, the manager does. Mm-hmm. And then Maatsen. Where was he going to play? In midfield, where we barely ever see him play? And even if you do want to play him in midfield...
He has even more people ahead of him in midfield.
Yeah, even more competition in midfield. Enzo, Lavia... Caicedo, Santos,
and even like I made this point.
Actually.
I've been making this point. Even if he goes to Newcastle, right, he's not going to be playing his primary position of midfield. He's going to have to stick to being the left back option there as well.
This is fair.
He's going to have to be a left back at Newcastle as well. So because they only have Dan Burns there, and he's probably going to be able to replace Dan Burns there with quite a bit of ease because of the fact they need.
So even if we think about, we approach this logically too, like think about it this way, because like I think people have and don't get me wrong, I think Lewis Hall is a fantastic player. He put his head down at Chelsea whenever he started, put on as hard of he was one of the few when we saw at Chelsea that looked like he was putting 110% on the field. I respect that, but we all know that attacking output, well, okay, maybe you guys don't agree with this, but when it comes to defensively, he had errors in him, right? Cucurella is better defensively. Probably better than, I would argue, is he better than Chilwell defensively? I don't know. Okay, so there's the argument there. Then offensively, okay, he has a good cross on him, but is he going to provide the same offensive numbers that Chilwell gives you?
Yes,
I don't think so either. I don't know, Scott. I disagree with that one.
I know Chilwell and Cucurella didn't play well. But I just think this is such an overhyped of Lewis Hall because the other two didn't play well. I honestly think this. He played what? How many minutes has he played? Like 600 minutes or something like that? I just think it's an overhyped because the other two didn't play well last season. And he put a good couple of forward passes that the others didn't. Honestly, I just think this whole overreaction because the other two didn't play well. Lewis Hall has done nothing and shown me nothing that he can do well at left back at all for a big club. I'm sorry, he just hasn't.
He's good, but he's not. You know?
I don't know. I think the two have potential, right? But I think, like I said, his potential is being overblown because people don't like the other two left backs. That's what it is for me. I honestly think that. Why? If he's so good, right? Why is it that only Newcastle are in for him and a Palace loan if he's that good? Why aren't someone like City in for him now? Or Manchester United in for him now? Or Liverpool? Or Arsenal? Or Spurs? Why aren't they in for him to even try and take him on loan? Why is that? Because he's not that. Because he's not shown any, that to be that good. I'm just sorry. I just think it's down to you don't like Chilwell and Cucurella, and you're looking for anyone else to play there instead of them. That's what I honestly think. And this overblown reaction, Lewis Hall leaving, is a problem. It's the whole problem with Cobham. I would tear that place to the ground and build a car park. I would destroy that place. I would.
But you know what it is?
Real quick, I forgot to read this, by the way. Fraser Fletcher, exclusive with Darko. Newcastle have medical set for tomorrow for Lewis Hall. Deal close to completion now. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Yeah, I just want to actually just back up like Safa's point. The reality situation there, Cobham is there to bring out. We're meant to only be taking out the ones which have the potential to have world-class talent. We've already had Reece James from there. Obviously, there's been others before him too. One or two before him that we've been able to take out. The other thing about Cobham is just to get these players to some level where we are able to sell them for pure profit too, because we're making an investment in them at the end of the day too. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. You know, Chelsea, for the majority of their time under Romeo Abramovich, and now under, obviously, we don't know yet, with this new ownership, has always been we spend to bring in top players in at the end of the day. That's what we've done the majority of the time. Barring that transfer ban we've had. Like, why are people surprised by this? Like, I don't understand why people are surprised by it. To me, it's not a surprise. So, honestly, man, it just feels like, you know, a lot of like harrying and carrying. Like, at the end of the day, Lewis Hall is a good player who has good potential, but he's not reached it right now. And we have a situation at the club where we are too overblown in one side of the pitch. He can provide us the most amount of profit in terms of FFP. It is what it is. Whether I like it or whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. It's the situation. We just got to move on with it.
I think this is the thread that people wanted me to read earlier, by the way, which is the PYS thread. I'll go ahead and read this real quick, and then
it was the old
there's
one.
another one. Well, this is one. He says you can praise the board for the window and criticize them at the same time. Them in isolation, both things can coexist. Selling Hall is a mistake. Let's call it out for what it is, rather than getting angry at fans. I love Lavia, by the way, wanted him before most of you who are in my replies. So don't start that one. I was simply saying that spending £60 million on top of £115 million clearly means that we have to make sales, and Hall being one of them is no go for me. Anyways, we needed Caicedo. Both is a bonus, but at the cost of Lewis. And then even here below, there's a reply. I think I saw a reply here real quick. Here we go. Realistically, I mean, I'm not a fan of this account either, but even he's being rational. Realistically, he isn't playing and most likely won't be playing majority of the season. It's not a mistake. If more of a man, I would have liked to have seen him get proper chance. And PYS reporting it's a massive mistake. Poch and the club didn't give him that chance. You aren't obligated to a chance. You need to deserve a chance.
How about this?
Go ahead.
Two things. I think he wants to play midfield. Second of all, I don't think Poch wants him and thinks he's good enough to play in his midfield and do the job he wants him to do. How about that? Everyone's going back to manager at the start, and the first point of selling one of your Cobham boys, you throw your toys out of the pram. I didn't see this much outrage when Chalobah's being linked to other places. And he's actually played well. He's actually played a lot of games for him.
That's actually so nasty as well.
Is this the thread, by the way?
I was gonna say, Andrew, like, you know, like, talk about outrage. Remember Lamptey and who's the other left back who went? Like, there was no outrage. Livramento, and I like the look of Livramento in all fairness as well. Like, but where do you hear about him now as well? Like, you don't even hear about him. I don't even know where they're at now. Are they still at Southampton and stuff, or?
No, he's at Newcastle as well.
So what are you guys saying? This is a bit of WP?
No, I'm not gonna. No. Let me do this. I'm not gonna do the race thing. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna. No, I just think maybe it comes to that, but like unconsciously for some people, not for others. But I just think like we're talking, and this isn't against the player, but we're talking about Lewis Hall. We're not talking about selling a prime Ashley Cole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A guy who we don't even know what his best position is. Yeah, whether it's left back, whether it's midfield, and in either case, we have too many people there. Okay, and he hasn't proven that he's better than any of those people in those positions to begin with. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's straight profit on the books,
Andrew,
which means in FFP rules means you can actually spend more. So that's why they're doing it as well. So
Andrew,
yeah,
I'm in tech now, but a very long time ago, I got my master's in psych, and I have 3 years of therapeutic experience. People like to see themselves in whatever they do. So it's like, I don't blame them for having the unconscious bias. It's like you see guys like Gallagher, you see guys like Chilwell, you see guys like Mount. You realize who really is like goes overboard and be like, I want them to stay. You can see that demographic of people. Right. It is true. Like it is what it is. Like I have biases too. Like I have biases to certain people I want to see in the fan base. It is what it is. But we need to stop overreacting, man. This guy, like, it's not a world beater we're losing. It's not like, come on. It's Lewis Hall, and I'm more interested in the pure profits that we're gonna get. Like, okay, Chalobah, like, look, Chalobah. Like,
I was just about to say, yeah.
I could say, yo, Chalobah, I want him gone. Like, you know what I mean? I like, he's not bad. But
I don't see the outrage on him either.
I don't see where, like, I'm not going to be tripping if he goes. We got more than enough cover in that position. If we use him, we could get good money for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that yet. But we could get 50 M's pure profit for Gallagher? Come on, guys.
Javi and guys, right? In any academy, you get 1 or 2 gems a generation. That's the average. That's the average, right? Or you get a weird thing like United had with the 92, like that. Or
Barcelona.
Or even Barcelona. If you think outside of the last 2 in Busquets and Pedro, name me another Barca star that's come out. You're going to say like Gavi and Pedri now, but there's been a good 10-15 years between those actual things actual players that have come out. Look at Liverpool, right? After Steven Gerrard, what other players come out of the Liverpool academy that started?
Probably Trent.
That's it. Apart from in the everyone goes on about the City academy and selling all their players, but who's the one starlet who's come through there?
Cole Palmer.
Man, since the 92 thing, who's the biggest? Since the 92 thing, who's the biggest player to come out of the Man United academy? Rashford. Right? And we have got Reece James and looking like potentially Colwell. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying we can have 2 in a generation, that is outstanding work by the academy. Yeah? Outstanding work. Because at big clubs, That's what happens. We are not we finished mid-table, but we're not a team like Southampton who can have 5 or 6 academy or young players in their team at one time. We just cannot do that. We cannot afford to do that. I know we're going young now, but most of them are established players. So we have to be logical and understand that, and just.
I do want to read this as well because it goes into what you're saying about the whole academy culture here. So this is the PYS thread. I think this is the one everyone's talked about. When we need to raise money, Chelsea always turns to academy talents to make a quick buck rather than pushing out the underperforming assets on high wages. The club have historically taken the easy route rather than the hard route. Okay, so that's historically, he says. Players like Gallagher, Chalobah, Maatsen, Broja are important for the squad and important for the culture of Chelsea. But you just said historically that's what we do. So is it really a part of the culture? I feel like you're kind of contradicting yourself in the same sentence. Also, a culture of academy products, other than John Terry, I mean, where is this culture?
Christensen.
So anyways, we continue. Christensen, you can make the argument. No matter whether or not you rate them, you are guaranteed an extra 10% from them just because of their affiliation and love for the club, which I don't know how true that is either. We saw that with Mason Mount. If we have to raise funds, then don't get yourself in a position from previous windows where you have to turn to the academy players. It shows you've been poor in the market. As a fan, I'm forced to open to selling some of these guys because that's the model we've had for years. I just wish we'd get to the point as a club where we don't have to sell academy talent when financials aren't perfect. This is a whole lot of waffle.
I bet you if you look over his tweets from last summer, he said all nothing but praise from signing Koulibaly, Sterling, Cucurella, and stuff like that, right? It's just hindsight now. That's all it is. And hindsight is always 2020. Always 2020. It's easy to say that now. There has been no culture of this prior to 2019. And then what we did is we did a complete 180 and flooded the squad with young players when that's the wrong thing to do. Okay? Now, you might say that we shouldn't have sold some of the young players. For me, the only one that comes close to that is possibly Tomori, that we shouldn't have sold. Okay? The rest, I'm happy with. There's been no youth product, as of right now, August 16th, 2023, that Chelsea have regretted selling, in my opinion. No youth product. Okay? Don't even bring up Musiala because he didn't break through to the first team whatsoever. So players that bring through the first team and we sold, there's not. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't count. He didn't come for a youth system, and Mo Salah doesn't count at all. So you can't use them. Okay? There's been no youth product that's come through that we've sold that we've regretted as of right now. Now Lewis Hall may become good. Livramento may become good, but Livramento is coming back from a serious injury. Okay? We have no idea how good he is or how good he's going to be, and if he's going to be that good. Let's see what happens, and I wish him the best of luck. But we can't afford to sit here and wait for 6 to 7 of these guys to progress if we want to actually win things. Okay, we need to go back to the culture of winning things regularly. Yeah. Okay, and challenging for league titles regularly. That's the culture of this club, not this youth product revisionist bullshit history from Cobham. Okay, Cobham is a great program. And it's worked well and did its job prior to 2019 beautifully. And now we're doing it again. And that's what you should be looking at, because you're all great at going, give these kids a chance. But you get a sniff of a Caicedo and you are humping that leg until the player comes, okay, to the club. All right?
Fucking minerals, bruv.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez Louise, mate.
Don't act like you're all back in Cobb. Like I said, I'm sorry. I am never giving up the opportunity of buying Romeo Lavia for Lewis Hall. I'm never giving that opportunity up. Never. It's not happening whatsoever.
Scott, you've been quiet on this. I feel like you have some disagreements. Don't mean to call you out, but I mean, what do you think on all this?
I do disagree about a lot of things. I also agree about some things. I disagree on the opinions of Lewis Hall as a player. I think of who we've got comfortably. I would say as well, by the way, just on the Maatsen thing, this kind of links to something I was going to mention later, but he's not competing with Maatsen. Maatsen's not competing at left back. Maatsen is not a left back, not anymore. Right now, Maatsen's an attacker, competing with the attackers. And that's where Poch sees him. And again, that could be a thing with this whole thing with Lewis Hall, where Poch maybe sees him as a midfielder, and then he has got then you are kind of in a different competition than you would be at left back. So I'll be completely honest. I disagree with what Andrew said earlier. I think as a left back, for me, people can say what they want. He's definitely better than Chilwell, and I think all round he's probably better than Cucurella as well. As much as I like Cucurella as an all round left back, he's better. I think we saw that last year with the limited minutes. I think when it comes to attacking areas, his delivery, his final ball is so much better than both of those guys. I think he offers a lot more than both of those guys at left back. The problem comes is whether he and whether the club, mainly Pochettino, see him as a left back moving forward. And I think the problem we've also got is the money that's involved is difficult to turn down for an 18-year-old that hasn't had a lot of minutes. And whether he reaches the potential that some people think he can reach is questionable at the moment. Like, we could look back at this in 4 or 5 years' time and think this was stupid. Like, we could have got double this for him because the level he's got. We could also look back in 3 or 4 years' time and think we got a steal here. Like, he's never reached that. You know, he leaves Newcastle, goes to play in the Championship or something, right? And we managed to get a lot of money. It kind of sucks. I'm a bit annoyed about the whole thing, just because I said I do like Lewis Hall and I think he's good and I think he's an improvement on what we've got. He's at the very least competition with what we've got. I wouldn't say he's worse than what we've got. It's just annoying because of the situation we're in regards to the money. But this is why I agree with what some of the guys like Andrew have said, where it's like, and it was brought up in the thread by other people. We're in a situation where there is no market for Lukaku. We might just be about selling ZIYECH after the 4th attempt.
Touch wood.
Cucurella doesn't have a market right now, and if he does, it's not the best. And I'll still maintain until he leaves or until I'm proved otherwise that there is a player in there, and he, with a bit of confidence and a bit of backing from the manager, can become something good. Can start to get back to what he was at Brighton. And then, like, even with some of the other guys like Gallagher, the market isn't there for what we want for him. So are you going to take a loss on him or take less than what you could probably get for him? Chalobah's the same. You know, he's probably worth about 35, 40 mil, but we're getting kind of bids for half that. So you are kind of put in a position where the only guy who's generating any interest of a sizable amount is Hall. And it kind of sucks. And it's similar to Maatsen as well. And I do hope he doesn't leave. I think that would be more of an annoyance for me if Maatsen leaves.
Yeah, I agree.
He really has been given no chance. And when he has, he's taken it. Like, the limited chance he's been given, he has taken. And if he leaves, I will actually be quite pissed off at that one. Yeah, as I said, with Hall, it just sucks. It sucks more than anything on a personal level.
You know what it is, Marshall? You know what it is, guys? Yeah, it's just, I think for me, what annoys me the most is that I know obviously Scott still sees a player Cucurella, but the reality situation is Chilwell probably is not going to leave the club this season, right? But Cucurella is the one that I was, Cucurella is the one that I was like, somehow hoping, touch wood, with the way we've been able to sell a lot of the deadwood we have, that we could probably make a turnaround on him. But it just seems like we've not been able to do so. And if that was, and honestly for me, if you had removed, I think, Cucurella, I think the club would have maybe pushed harder for the sale of like some of the other assets, like a Gallagher, like a Chalobah, a lot more faster than maybe someone like a Hall at that point. Because at least at that point, you definitely know that Cucurella is out the door, and you need to at least have a backup there. So
I think another factor into the Cucurella thing, which, aside from the performances, which last season, not only him, but a lot of the whole team performed badly. And this season, we see those mistakes that he's made. It's in them, right? But I think another factor with the Cucurella thing is that I'm sure the asking price for Cucurella is nowhere near what the asking price of Hall is. When you're talking about Cucurella, I mean, you take away last season, which of course you have to factor in when you're talking price. But let's take that away for now, right? You're talking about player of the season for Brighton. You saw how much Brighton sell their players for. I think Cucurella, how much should we get him for? 70 million, 55. Right? If I'm not 55,
no, 60. Yeah,
no, it's 50. It was 55 and 7 million add-ons.
So to try to recoup that amount of money, we're probably going to try to sell Cucurella for about 40, maybe 45. FFP being an issue for Newcastle, and also people getting upset about the loan for Crystal Palace not working out. I think people forget to factor in that Crystal Palace is pissed off at us because we went in for Olise because they put a release clause that they didn't want people to know about. So it's like, yeah, I mean, okay, you're gonna fight us on giving us Olise, then fuck you. You're not gonna get Hall. I mean, isn't this how this works, guys? Isn't this what basically happened to us with Brighton for the longest time when it came to Colwell? You know, like it's like there's a lot of people in the fan base that don't think about this. 55 plus 7 Danish Maldini.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also disagree, by the way, in the Cucurella thing. I think the price actually is the same, but I think that's the problem. Is the fact
it is the price. Actually, the price is the same. Yeah, it is.
I think the Arsenal price would
to
be
be 30 to 35.
Really?
I'm not necessarily the
Wow.
Arsenal price. I think what they'd be willing to pay for both is the same, but then you're making like a big loss on Cucurella. I think that's the issue. You kind of want to, if you're going to sell him, you kind of want to get to the point where you can get to as close to breaking even as possible, and I think that's the issue.
But I think what you guys said before too, the competition, you know, like
yes, I don't understand, and I think that, sorry, Marsh, to interrupt, but the biggest thing is just what the idea of like, and this is just what we as fans don't know and may never know going forward, really, unless it comes out or unless when he moves to Newcastle, we have no idea A, what Pochettino sees him as, and B, what Lewis Hall wants to do, because we've seen this before with Oxlade-Chamberlain. For as good as he was at Arsenal playing right wing back, because he wasn't playing midfield, he always wanted to play midfield. That's why he didn't move to Chelsea, because we wanted to play him as a right wing back and he wanted to play midfield. And it may just be the same thing. It may just be as good as he has been, as I think he's been at left back and left wing back for us last season and even the season before in moments. He may see himself as a midfielder going forward. And if that's the case, then yeah, he's really got no place at Chelsea, to be honest. And then if he has that option and has that ability to play at Newcastle, which he may do, if you look at their midfield options, bar the starting three, they're not great. Then yeah, he may just feel he's got an easier path to play there in his preferred position. That's the thing we'll never know. I think that's the thing we can't really, like. Yeah, that's the part of this we'll never know until he actually. If he starts playing the midfield, then we can kind of guess that's a good idea. If he continues to play left back, then we can kind of speculate. But yeah, that's what we're never really going to know.
And also, like, I mean, take this with a grain of salt. Apparently, he's a Newcastle fan. So I mean,
I think I saw someone saying that his dad. I think his dad is a family.
His mum and his dad are Newcastle fans, and they're from Newcastle.
Yeah, I think I saw something that said his dad was a
dream signing for him. You know,
I mean, I don't think he's got a route into the squad. Like the whole summer, we were talking about Olivia Colwell and whether he should be staying or going to Brighton, or if he's got a route to the squad. I don't think
the one thing I will say, by the way, and this just I tweeted this earlier. This kind of just is more goes to more like the people tweeting about the whole situation. Is what fucks me off is the same people complaining about or not all of them, but a lot of the people complaining about the whole situation will be the same dudes that rate Chilwell highly, which don't make sense. If you rate Chilwell that highly, then how do you expect an 18-year-old who is, let's be honest, playing out of position to take his spot? How good must he be as a left? He must be Trent levels of left back, equivalent levels of left back, to take his spot. Otherwise, Chilwell ain't as good as you guys think. Those two things can't work out, because if Chilwell's as good as you think, he will never take his spot. He'll only ever be a backup. And if Chilwell isn't as good as he is, newsflash, by the way, he isn't. But if Chilwell isn't as good as people think he is, then that's a conversation of maybe we just need a new left back in general.
Well, Scott, you see, you mentioned Ian Maatsen, and a lot of people were saying Ian Maatsen or Lewis Hall to stay, but the reason I think Ian Maatsen will stay is because he's more versatile than Lewis Hall. He can play the attacking position, Scott.
Like I said before, Maatsen is not viewed as a left wing back.
But he's not. But he can play that.
Like, well, no. Sorry, he's not viewed as a left back, left wing back. He's viewed as an attacking player.
He's viewed as a versatile player, a very versatile player, which is useful to the squad.
Even so, his versatility is seen as in attacking areas. He's not seen as a left back option. Our left back options this season are Cucurella and Chilwell. Those are our only two.
We'll ever see Maatsen left back?
No,
maybe
unless
not.
they both get injured.
Yeah, unless they both get injured.
Which is honestly, that's how we saw Lewis Hall, to be honest. It was until Cucurella and Chilwell both were injured or out of the team, that's when Lewis Hall got his chance.
But my point is, he just hasn't got root into the squad. We've got, forget Maatsen, we've got Cucurella and Chilwell, two left backs that we bought for 50+ million, that don't look like they're going anywhere. One of them just got given vice captain, so he ain't going to be playing left back. And let's not even start about the midfield. Lavia, Casadei, Enzo, and we still got Santos. Now, where is this guy going to play? Regardless if we're forcing him out, regardless if Poch doesn't rate him, regardless if he wants to leave because he's a Newcastle fan, that to the side, he hasn't got route to the squad. He hasn't got route to the first team, so it's irrelevant. 30 million pure profit on a 18-year-old that's made like less than 10 appearances and hasn't got a route into the squad. What are we really complaining about? Yeah, it's bittersweet because he's a good player and people like got preferences. The same way, like it or not, I got preferences to ZIYECH. It's how
Totally
football is.
different. Totally
It's not different, but it's just how it is.
ZIYECH is pure crap.
No, but like,
Yeah,
that's how the cookie. Like they say, that's how the cookie crumbles. It is what it is, bro.
Speaking of cookies crumbling, and ZIYECH, by the way.
We're talking about ZIYECH's medical records.
Yes. Let's. Hey, ZIYECH, this is your time to shine. Ahmed, this is your time to shine. But let me read some tweets first.
No, you know what, bro? I'm actually being kind to ZIYECH today, bro. I'm just hoping.
Oh my days! We'll see. We'll see what your kindness looks like. So we have Jacob Steinberg reporting Chelsea could look for further attacking additions after losing Christopher Nkunku for a long-term knee injury. Pochettino is also looking for a goalkeeper after loaning Kepa to Real Madrid. Hakim Ziyech has interest from a club in Turkey. So. Fast forward, Simon Phillips, if all goes well, Hakim Ziyech will join PSG. So apparently PSG come back into the mix. I did not know this. This came out of the blue. This is coming from the PSG report. So then we hear here, Jacob Steinberg. Breaking. Hakim Ziyech is heading to Turkey to undergo medical as he looks likely to join Galatasaray. And then we have here from Fabrizio. Chelsea have reached verbal agreement in principle with Galatasaray for your Hakim Ziyech transfer deal, subject to further details and also medical tests, as Chelsea are careful after twists with PSG and Al Nassr. You better be careful. And then here, this freaked us all out. Absolute Chelsea. Wilfred Green reporting Hakim Ziyech has failed his medical test. Oh God, no. No. No, it can't happen like this again. No. We need this guy to move.
Please, no.
So apparently it was false. Okay, according to this, a reliable Galatasaray sources have said Ziyech passed his medical test. So, boys, Ziyech looking like
his first part. One second. It's been reported. It's only his first part that's passed. Yeah, he's set to go out to Turkey tomorrow. To go to Galatasaray and then do the blood work test.
It should be hard to fail though.
What did he say? What did he say, Scott? Sorry.
I just said get this useless motherfucker gone, man. Bro.
Yeah, man. And the thing is,
have some respect.
Bro,
don't need to respect the guy who barely plays. Lord.
How much is he? We don't even know how much he's going for. I wouldn't be surprised if
probably 15 million.
No, it's not 15 million because we're selling him for 8 million to Saudi. So it's not gonna be 15 million.
How much?
It's probably gonna be
8 million. Was it 8 million to Saudi? Yes. I don't remember.
The Saudi was 8 million. Yes, I'm 100% sure on that one. I think probably what's gonna happen is probably gonna be an undisclosed fee for ZIYECH. I'll be honest, they won't even reveal what it is.
Look, man. End of the day, they should say he passes medical to Galatasaray, big club in Turkey. I like Turkey, amazing country. You know, nice people there, nice country. So it's a good place for him to go play. Galatasaray, biggest club in there. They won the league last season. They got a few good players: Zaha, Angelino, Icardi, Mertens. You know, it's a good place for him. They're gonna welcome him with open arms. And look, it's bittersweet because I want him to stay, but at the same time, let him go and play it because he deserves to play. He doesn't deserve to be sitting on the bench. He doesn't deserve to be treated like shit by the club that he plays for. So yeah, man. Listen,
I can't lie to you, man. He's got a fair point on that one, man. He's got a fair point on that one.
He does. Just the amount of the vigor and how he said doesn't deserve to be treated like shit.
You know what I mean?
Shots fired, man.
Look how they welcome Zaha, man. Look how they welcome Zaha.
Whether we like it or not, Marshall, the way we did him so dirty with the PSG thing, yeah, we have to be honest.
It's not even a PSG.
I know, but that's not really Chelsea's fault. That's not Chelsea's fault.
Everything else
is
his
own
fault.
for leaving that late because
that one was his own fault. No, that was his.
What are you not waffling about?
What do you mean? It was PSG's fault.
How was it PSG's fault?
Because why
was
would they
our
come?
fault, bro.
No, hang on. Why would they come last day? Yeah, when they know we're literally having all our owners, fly over to Portugal to get the Enzo deal done, and they make
What are
us
you
push for
talking
ZIYECH.
about? What is he so
Chris,
you're-
have you
so-
spoken
We was too busy with Enzo.
So a club can't come in for a player in the last day of the window.
No,
that
because
what
we
you're talking about?
we was going for Enzo.
I don't
We
think
had-
you think
we had
PSG give
bigger
a shit
issues.
about Enzo.
We had bigger issues. It wasn't our
You think
fault.
PSG give a shit about Enzo? You couldn't send the
Yeah,
fact.
do you think we give a shit about ZIYECH?
the fax
Can I-
machine? Fax machine, bruv.
No
What
one
are you
uses
talking
fax
about?
machine. No one uses fax machine these days. It's a lie. Let me just. I want to sum up my feelings about this whole entire. If he goes, right, just my. I can't think of a word. I just this is my inside my head. This is what I'm feeling right now with the ZIYECH situation.
I thought you wrote him a haiku or something, like a poem to dismiss
Wow,
ZIYECH.
But Chris, this
It
quick one,
wasn't Chelsea's fault. I'm telling you that
It
because
was-
we
Yeah,
were
Oh,
but-
saying
stop
we had-
waffling, man. What you lot
They're in
waffling
Chelsea,
about,
Let it
man?
go, bro.
You lot
No,
are
but it was
gender
the chat
stink,
saying
man.
No,
You
it
lot are
wasn't
gender
because why
stink,
should we
man.
care about that? Yeah, like that
That
agreement
guy
when we
played
had Enzo the
this
boy
guy-
about.
no,
We was trying
this
to get
guy-
Enzo over the line.
That's
You know
not
how
how
close it
football
was. We
works.
wasn't getting Enzo. It was
That's
super
not how
close to
football
not getting
works.
Enzo.
That's not how football
Oh,
works.
okay.
Listen.
This man paid for his own private jet to get over to PSG and Paris to sort out the
Feel
move.
easy,
He
Jet,
done all the medicals. He done the media,
Yeah.
all that, and Chelsea still failed the move. You're blaming the
Yes.
PSG.
Yeah,
and
we
ZIYECH.
got the paperwork
You
wrong.
chatting
Yeah,
shit,
we
man.
got the paperwork wrong,
Well,
but
Chris,
understandably.
one second.
You got the paperwork
Listen.
3 times, bro. 3 times.
I don't
you
know,
got
I
it
don't
wrong.
know
Chris.
about us legit 3 times, but
Chris is literally
You
reported
might
that it's
chat
Chelsea's fault.
shit,
There's no
bro.
other way to put it out, bro.
Come
There's
on,
no
man.
other
no,
way to
but
put
no,
it,
but
bro.
you're
Just
not
let it go.
looking. The reason why we fucked up
But it
with
doesn't
because
matter.
we're trying to get Enzo.
Chris,
Yeah, it does matter to me
your
because
owners can
we
be
were
at
so
one
close
place,
to losing out on Enzo.
He's going. Why
Can I
are we
just talk, bro?
arguing
literally
You're
about
not
it?
making sense.
Going.
Chris,
Oh, yeah,
you're not
I know.
making sense, bro.
Why are we arguing
Okay,
about
you-
a failed
Just
transfer
leave it, man.
when this one's going to be completed? Why are we arguing about this? He's going.
I mean,
Hallelujah.
fingers crossed.
Praise
Fingers
whatever.
crossed. It does get completed.
Hallelujah and praise whatever deity you pray to. That this guy is going right now. It is this guy going.
No, I'm cool. I'm about to put out the racism card in a minute on
This
you, bro. How
window-
about that, bro?
Listen,
Whoa.
we won't allow your racism on this channel. But it's still good. But, he won't listen. He's just listen, and you can ask Prime when this guy signed how excited I was for him signing for us. So you can ask Vladimir's Prime about that. He wasn't excited about it. But this guy's just been a failure from the start.
He didn't get an opportunity.
He
He didn't get a
got,
proper
he-
opportunity.
remember when we signed him? He got injured in pre-season when we signed him. Do you remember that?
Oh, so he's injury prone now.
Yeah.
He's injury prone.
Yes,
Is that the new? Is that the new shit? He's
he
injury
kind of
prone.
was. He kind of was.
Nah, you man are
Yeah.
actual
Oh,
wafflers,
I-
bro. This
listen,
The
is
reason why he
waffle,
didn't
bro.
get
Let's not-
Lord have mercy on my soul. Lord have mercy on my soul. Hakim Ziyech is injury prone. Oh my
Yes,
days, bro.
He
Apart from it,
Was.
oh, I can't.
Wait, that's why he
Couldn't
failed.
hack-
Alright,
That's
man.
I can't even defend you on that one.
How did he
Please
fail
wrap up,
the
man.
medical? He failed the medical earlier this summer, so he's injured.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't. They didn't.
He did.
I don't know
Yes,
if he
yes,
was
yes,
sure,
yes.
to be
And
honest.
also just change their
Maybe.
demands.
Why would they change
Yeah,
their
like-
minds? They don't care.
You
They're
know,
like-
you
they
know
got
why?
money-
So he doesn't get
They
injured
just
so
throw
much,
money
Andrew.
away. They throw money
Anyway,
away. Why
look,
would they-
Hang
Andrew,
on, hang on,
Andrew,
hang on. No,
they
hang on,
changed-
hang on.
Go on.
No, hang on.
National team.
So it's worse, Ziad. It's worse for you as a Ziad stan if they decided to just change their mind, because it means they just think he's shit.
no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Dude,
But
they
listen
signed
up.
Jordan Henderson. 700 grand a week. They don't care about how good the player is. They signed Jordan Henderson, bro. They don't care.
Okay, anyway, listen, man. He
Yeah,
got
listen,
mistreated
bro,
at Chelsea. He didn't get his ideal move to PSG. He got mistreated at Chelsea. He had bums playing in front of him every single week, and they didn't have, there was
That's
no
not-
How
confidence.
do you,
That's
how do you, how do you think they
That's
feel
not
with
a
him
lie.
playing beside
Yeah,
them?
but he's one of them,
Well,
Marshall.
don't let me send you that comp
Shut
again.
up.
I'll send you a
He
comp.
was.
He performed 98% of the time he got an opportunity, and that's a simple fact of the matter.
How did you work out those?
98%. How you
Hang
work
on,
out
Yeah,
those
that's a
98%?
simple
how
fact.
did you work that out? 98%. How did you work that out?
Because these are my eyes. That's how it
Random
works out.
math.
That's how we. That's how it
Yeah,
works
we
out.
went there.
You know what it is, man.
What-
ZIYECH, bro.
what
You
you're-
know it's him,
What
man.
you're hearing right now is a player stand come up with and maths, just not going in the same.
We like this player stand
area.
though.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah,
Nah,
man.
need
Listen,
percent,
man, you got
Let's
people
leave-
bitching of an 18-year-old that's made 4 appearances, bro. So I don't know what you're
Listen,
asking
man.
for.
Let's just listen.
Also, by the way, did you say
this?
this man isn't injury prone?
No,
He did.
just
He
looked-
did.
Bro, I'm looking at his injury record.
Oh
He's
my
mad.
god! Look, bring up the last comment, please. Bring up the last comment, man. That is ZIYECH. ZIYECH is built like a housewife. He's bound to get injured sooner or later, bro. Just-
Good God. Good Lord, see.
Scott, he gets
Oh
into a
my
lot, mate.
Lord. Listen, man.
Lord.
ZIYECH, bro. I'm gonna be
My man
quite
said
nice.
damn near every injury under the goddamn sun.
Hey, listen, ZIYECH, bro. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. He's going to Galatasaray. Hopefully, we'll touch wood if he passes the medical and everything. I wish him all the best, bro. But you know, he's been a flop at Chelsea. Simple as that.
I'm glad we're selling a
Fix that
turkey.
hairline.
That's what I'm glad about. That's all I'm glad.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I said, at least he's going to Turkey. I like Turkey, man. It's a nice place. Scott went
You
there on
don't
holiday. He
like
said it's
Turkey,
a
you
nice
don't
place.
like Turkey.
What do you mean? Man, been there about 5
What are you
times.
saying?
man. I
Saudi
like
not
Turkey,
bad.
man.
What are you
You-
saying then? What are
you might-
you
you
No,
might
no, no. I'd rather him go Turkey and actually play
You
some
might have
proper
travelled there.
UCL
You might have
football,
travelled
man.
through there 5 times.
No, he play. I can't travel past Turkey, man.
Yeah.
But listen, he gonna play some proper UCL football, man. You know, with
Yeah,
Mertens,
that's
Zaha, Icardi.
But he can play in the Asian version of the UEFA.
Yeah, I don't know. That's irrelevant, but irrelevant. But
Why
yeah,
not,
man.
He's
Listen.
facing
I'm gonna be getting myself. I'm gonna be getting myself a nice Galatasaray kit. I'm gonna be following him. I'm gonna be watching him, no doubt about that. And then
Can you
yeah,
go
man,
over
follow
there? Can
Yeah,
you
you
go
go
over
follow
there
him
and
too,
follow
what?
him? Yeah, can you do that?
follow him
We're
where?
at Galatasaray
That's
membership
right.
too.
I might have to go
Did
to
you
Turkey and watch a
Galatasaray
game.
membership?
Hey, they have Chelsea history, you know, with
Because you
Drogba.
love Turkey that much.
I can't wait to. I can't wait for
Yeah.
him to get the love that he deserves, man. Look at the way they announced Zaha. You know, with the flares, the
Let me tell you
fans. I can't wait, bro.
Yeah, just gonna get
No,
the
man.
announce, man.
He's gonna, bro. Who the fuck is Wilfred Zaha, bro? Crystal Palace
me
player,
tell you
bro.
this
We're
right
talking
Hey,
about
yo, don't
Champions
violate my
League.
boy
here.
Zaha like that,
No,
man.
we're talking about Champions League winner here, Hakim Ziyech, bro. What are
Let
you
me
waffling
tell you
about,
this
man?
right now, right? Let me tell you this right now. If he doesn't perform there, the abuse that he got here compared to there will look like child's play. These Turkish fans will get on the pitch to attack this guy if he doesn't play well. Yeah,
Well, he's
they
gonna
are
perform.
insane.
He's gonna perform,
Who's
though.
done it at Chelsea?
You see
What are you
it?
talking about?
He's gonna perform. He's gonna perform. He's gonna perform at the Galatasaray. What's the
Oh,
problem?
I was just saying, if he doesn't, he's going to get a flare right between the eyes or up his ass. One or the other. You know what I mean?
Whoa!
I'm just saying, he doesn't perform. They are going to
Yo!
stone, they're going to stone the coach they're on if they don't perform. These guys will follow him to airports. These guys are rabid, okay?
That's
They
fine.
are mad, okay?
That's fine, man.
If he don't, well, I don't even care because he'll be out of our club.
He can handle it, man. He can handle it.
Good.
Let's have
man.
it
I
right.
hope so.
The one thing that can't be handled is him going and your reaction to it.
Nah, my reaction is fine, man. My reaction is fine.
Can I
Listen,
ask
man,
you,
listen.
you didn't answer my question. Looking at the squad, which crap player are you going to back now? I just want to know.
No, I'm not gonna. Would you know?
He's not watching.
I don't answer stupid questions.
Gallagher?
No,
You going to
no,
go
no.
after Gallagher next?
No.
Fucking
No?
No,
minerals,
it's Sanchez. No, it's Sanchez, bro. It's that Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Well, Sanchez is crap player
Oh.
now. Is this what we're doing?
No, I
Is this
don't
what
think
we're
he
doing?
is. I'm just saying.
Oh,
what player
he's
you
got the
going
number
to
one
Sanchez?
shirt, man. Hold that, Scott, man.
No, he hasn't. He's got
the
31.
No, he's got number one. But watch. How much would I bet? Number, I guess West Ham would be
I did
wearing
read
number
that
one, bro.
earlier today. I did read that. I don't know how true
Yeah,
it is. I
man.
did
He
read
got
that.
number one.
Can
man.
they
Maybe.
change it before the deadline? Is that right?
Yeah,
I
didn't think they
be
could.
number one.
I don't
thought
think
had
they
to get
could
the-
change it.
I thought they had to get the numbers in before the kickoff. I thought
Wait,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
why.
don't-
But because
I thought they had. I thought they had a certain day they needed to.
Yeah, I thought they had a
have them
certain
done
date
by.
they had to do it, right?
But no, but you
Mhm.
can't
Player
take
left,
number
innit?
one still anyway because Kepa's on loan. Like he isn't sold. Like
No,
Yeah,
you still can. No,
take-
you
yeah,
still
No,
can.
you
take
can.
any
Of course you
number,
can.
So wait, when Kepa, say for example, Kepa comes back, so Kepa has to change number, or
Yes.
No, well, they just give the numbers again. They'll just
That's
read-
literally
Yeah,
no,
they
Chris,
redistribute
Chris,
the numbers.
Chris,
That's no
that's literally how it works.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
I just don't know how it works as a loan. Like it's a bit weird. Like
It's
you just
happened
take-
before.
Number, it doesn't
When
matter. If the player
Loftus Cheek
goes-
went out on loan to Fulham, I think he was 16 before he left, and he came back and was given 12.
it's-
What's
if
his
you-
name?
as soon
Hudson
as
Odoi
you
was on
leave-
loan.
As soon as the player
Hudson-
leaves, either
yeah.
loan or permanent, that number becomes vacant.
Yeah, Hudson Odoi was on loan, and Zakaria took 20.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, you're right. Yes, he did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But I gotta say, for ZIYECH, wish him the best. It didn't work
Can
out.
we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of
wish-
applause for his
I
career at
wish he
Chelsea?
did.
Go on,
I
Marshall,
don't
come
know
on,
about
give
that
him-
one. I don't know
Marshall,
about
have
that
some
one.
damn
No,
respect for ZIYECH, man.
I mean,
Give him a
listen,
round of-
I
think
do
about the
like
goals,
ZIYECH.
man. The Super
I
Cup,
do like.
Super Cup
Okay,
final
you know
goal,
what? I
man.
got it. I
like
got it.
all
I
the
got it.
stinky-
You know,
Yeah,
I got
everyone
the.
round
I
of
got
applause.
this.
I'll do put your hands
There
together,
we
man.
go.
Put your hands
No,
together.
no,
man.
no,
ZIYECH.
no.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you.
If
Thank
you're gonna
you.
do
No.
clap by hand at least, like, come on, like, show your appreciation. Do
You
it by
gotta let me
hand.
cook. You gotta let me cook because the next sound was gonna be.
It's time to go.
Okay, so sorry, ZIYECH. It's you gotta. All right, it's time to go, ZIYECH. So
How disrespectful,
sorry,
man.
it didn't work out, but hey, it is what it is. It's Chelsea. Let's-
Blame Chelsea
You
for
don't
that.
realise what you've done for soundboards and other people knowing that. Even Lewis is now using a soundboard.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think
Big
Scott
Scott
went.
probably had to leave. Yeah, it's getting late, but we're almost done here. Ladies and gents, if you haven't done so already, smash up the like buttons. And hey, we got more. We got a few more topics for you. Ahmed, you wanted to discuss this, so let's bring it up. The future of Carney and Maatsen, and what's going to happen with these guys. So
I honestly-
let's real quick. Let me just read the tweets and then let's discuss. You know how this show works, Ahmed. Come on, man. So Simon Phillips reporting: Chelsea will step up plans to sell Conor Gallagher, Trevor Chalobah, Ian Maatsen, which is a surprise there. Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech. Carney Chukwuemeka or new $26 million signing could be loaned out. Going on. The Zarkis is reporting that, by the way. Carney Chukwuemeka could leave on loan. Chelsea are also expected to keep Andrey Santos in the squad as midfield cover, coming from the Zar as well. Ian Maatsen and Carney Chukwuemeka are willing to fight for their places. I think that's everything I have in regards to this. Actually, no, I have one more right here. And then Felix Johnson, exclusive. Ian Maatsen has rejected Chelsea's first verbal contract offer. There is no panic yet. Situation described as open negotiation. West Ham are very interested in Maatsen. So, go ahead, Ahmed.
So I actually a bit worried about Carney Chukwuemeka. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if you heard from Nizar Kansala. He's saying that Carney Chukwuemeka could head out on loan now. So we really need, and for me, it's a thing of you've already got like almost like a complete midfield, a complete star midfield of Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo, and then Santos. Where does he then fit in after that? Like, unless he's going to be a backup, you know, where does he fit in post that? Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? You get what I'm trying to say? Because
can I be brutally honest here? Not as much as Hall. I think Carney's good. Is he good enough to see a future in the first team? I don't know. With Hall, it seemed like very bleak. You know, you have the competition at left back with the manager rating the two left backs that are ahead of you. And even if Maatsen isn't left back, okay, now we move to midfield. It's really stiff competition. I think Carney, once Lavia comes into this team, once Nkuku's healthy, once we get Olise, I don't think Carney's as good as those guys. And don't get me wrong, like Carney's had good moments in preseason. I don't think he's been like a standout, like he needs to stay, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm the same as well. Like, I think he's been okay in preseason, and against Liverpool, I didn't think he really like did much. He was like a ghost half the time, and like there is a lot of midfielders in Chelsea right now, and I don't want him in attack either. I think it'd be the right move to either loan him, or if you can get a good price for him, like I don't know, 30 million or something, like it'd be more money we bought him for. I'd be okay with that. Like we just actually filled in a lot of good midfielders in front, so a loan would be good for Chukwuemeka. Like maybe he improves, but last season he didn't really get minutes for whatever reason.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't Chukwuemeka didn't really get minutes last season because either Pod didn't like him. I don't think Poch is going to use him as much this season as well. I think he's going to be down on the line, like way down, like with Santos or below Santos. So yeah, a loan or sell him like be the best option for him right now. As a player, I think.
To address this one, like I would say, like Carney, like to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think he's got good progressive dribbling. I think he's good at progressing the ball up the field. He has a little bit of a good ball control as well. I don't see him being a clinical scorer in scoring position. I don't see him finding those thread of the needle passes. Like, there's nothing about him that really super stands out for me. So I don't know. I don't know if there's like a real future for him. As for Ian Maatsen, this is what actually worries me, because I do rate Maatsen. We did see what he does in the attacking positions in the preseason, and he's doing really well. And he seems to have this really awesome chemistry with oh my god, I'm blanking out on the name, Jackson. So like I don't know. What worries me is not so much like the move. I think he's gonna stay, but I think what worries me is like, if he doesn't sign the contract, he's already rejected one verbal contract offer. If he doesn't sign a contract, then you're kind of forcing Chelsea's hand to sell you.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, at the point they are forcing it. I don't know. Like, it's not a big deal for me if he goes as well. I'm not sure. Like,
Really?
Like, it's just like, we signed a lot of good midfielders in, and Santos has got apparently a high ceiling. He did really well under 21s World Cup and everything, and he's got some minutes in him out of the league. And we literally bought Caicedo, Lavia, and who's the third? We brought in a third. Oh yeah, and we got Gallagher as well. I think Gallagher's ahead of him as well.
Yeah, Gallagher seems like he is going to stay, and I know Ahmed, you wanted to mention that.
Yeah, bro, this is what I'm saying to you. I actually believe, and I know that the club is still open to selling, but I definitely hold the belief that Gallagher's going to stay at the football club. And if that's the case, you've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 midfielders essentially, right?
Yeah.
I'm unsure where Carney fits then. You know what I'm saying? Because there's one game a week. What's happening? You know what I'm saying?
I would even say that, and maybe I'm waffling. I don't know. I believe this. I would even say that Gallagher's ahead of Carney right now.
Yes.
Well, he probably is in the back order, if you're being honest. But the thing with Carney right now is that I definitely think a loan would help him out. But the question is where you send him out, right? Because I think he definitely needs to improve his finishing, right? That's one thing I think.
For sure.
Carney, his finishing is like really needs like, you know, a lot of finesse, a lot of work on to be happening. The club was the first, like, you know, young sign the club made, you know, £20 million for him. So you've got to hope that we're able to do something for him, man.
This is also a factor. You gotta take into consideration that when we signed Carney, it was not under Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. This was under Bowley, and at the time there may have been a little misguidance with that. So maybe giving them the 100K a week was not the best idea, considering how much playtime he's going to get. But I don't know. This is a situation where, like, I don't know. I'm inclined to let Carney leave on a loan and see what happens. Then Uguchuku. I feel like a backup DM is not a bad option. A backup like sole number 6 in case something happens to Caicedo. I don't want to force Lavia into that position, even though he can play better than Enzo, I would think. I don't want to force Enzo in that position. There's also the possibility that because Lavia is still not like the 100% made product, that he does get rotated in and out of games depending on the situation. Because I do see Pochettino being that kind of a manager, depending on the match, depending on the formation, depending on what he's gonna pick and choose and toolbox players in and out. So that's where Santos comes in. That's where Gallagher comes in.
And you also need to realize, I want to add this on, and Niak, I think, makes a good point about this, which is, you look at Pochettino, you know, there's only so many guys you can develop at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You can't develop every single player at the same time, right? There's going to be different players that are on different levels of the development shape. He's going to have other people helping him, delegating to help him develop these players. How much time is China going to get compared to some of these guys that you know are automatic stars? Whether we like to hear or not, I know there's no such thing for automatic stars, but some players, whether we like it or not, are automatic stars. Reece James is an automatic star. Whether we like it or not, currently Chilwell is an automatic star. Robert Sanchez is currently a star. You know, Nico Jackson, as it's currently suited, and all we have is currently a definite star, right? Enzo, definitely a star. Caicedo, definitely a star. Lavia is probably going to have to be another star. So there's only so much you're going to get.
Yeah, so I mean, unless anyone else has anything to add to this topic, we'll see. I'm hoping we don't sell on Maatsen, but that's all going to be dependent on whether or not he signs a contract.
I genuinely believe the fact they've already offered him a contract means that they're trying to save. I'm trying to save him. They want him.
Yeah, but he's rejected the first one. If he rejects the second, maybe a third one,
Levi
we could have a
Cole
situation.
did the same thing, guys. Just to let you know, the
Did
same
he?
Levi Cole. Yes, he rejected his first contract. Then we came back with an improved offer afterwards.
Okay,
It's
then
not-
I won't
I
panic
think-
too
I
contract
think
much.
the club-
negotiations.
I think
It's a
the
natural
club,
negotiation.
yeah, like I was saying earlier in the Lewis Hall situation, I think the club, they just see, and Pochettino see Ian Maatsen as a very versatile player. Like, unless I'm mistaken, the first time he's ever played in attack was in pre-season. So
Exactly, yeah.
and I haven't seen him perform to a very high level in Premier League in an attacking position. So in my eyes, he should be a contender for left back as well. So him being able to play left back, hopefully he performs in attacking positions in the Premier League. I don't care about pre-season right now in the Premier League. Then Poch is like, it's amazing for Poch. He's got versatile formation, versatile tactics with players that are full of versatility. Unlike, like we were saying, Lewis Hall. So yeah, I think we'll keep Maatsen.
Yeah, I hope you guys are right, man. But on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up. Let me just do a quick boom. Washington. We have more news on Washington, and now more officialized, if that's even a word. I think I just made that up. More official news on his move to Strasbourg. So here we go. Fabrizio Romano, David Washington has signed contract and completed his medical as a new Chelsea player. Official statement soon as deal finally signed with Santos for 2005. So born in 2005 striker to join on 60 million euros plus 4 million euros deal. Here we go, confirmed. And then the next tweet is from Secret Scout. We have here, David Washington will join Strasbourg on loan. Listen, I don't know much about the guy, but we did mention before, since the Elye Wahi deal didn't work out, to move him to Strasbourg, get this guy in. There's a striker in there, and now we're seeing Strasbourg cook now. But
Yep,
other than mentioning this, I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to bring up.
No, it's pretty much it. Like we'll see if he's good enough.
Yeah, we will. I think he needs time to develop, and it's good that guy Angelo's there as well. So I think that's going to be a fruitful partnership, as well as a fruitful loan for him as well. Okay, but going on to the next topic. Boom. Let's talk about this guy. Remember this guy? Harvey VALE. Here we go. I totally forgot this guy was even in our squad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but here we go. He's gone to Bristol Rovers on loan. So understand, Harvey VALE is set to join Bristol Rovers on loan as called by Simon Phillips, according to Bobby Vincent. And then we have one more tweet here. Official, Harvey VALE has joined Bristol Rovers on a season-long loan. I don't think this guy has a future at Chelsea. I'll be honest with you. Didn't even play in the preseason. He's 19, 20 now? I don't know about this kid. I don't know if you guys have anything to add on that one either.
Bro, there's nothing to talk about. Hopefully he does well, and we'll see if he's good enough. Obviously, we had a loan our whole last season, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember if he was I can't remember how well he did there, but hopefully this one works out. Maatsen had a similar trajectory where his first two loans didn't work out, but the Burnley one hit. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's probably going to be like Hutchinson, man, going on these decent loans. Hopefully,
I forgot about Hutchinson.
Hopefully to perform, and then someone comes with a permanent move. That's probably it.
Yeah, possibly. I could see it. I mean, I think Harvey is a midfielder, I believe, right?
Bro, I think, he plays he can play 10. Yeah, he plays midfielder 10, yeah.
Yeah, I barely remember, but I haven't even seen much of this guy play, even under the previous regime. Under this regime, haven't seen him play at all.
I think he's made like probably 3 appearances for the first team. So probably, I don't know if he's even that. Did
he make an appearance last season? I think he did under Lampard for 1 game, maybe.
No, he hasn't. I can't remember the last time he made an appearance for the first team. He just
I think it was under Tuchel.
It was under Tuchel. Tuchel was the last time he made an appearance, and that was it was even Tuchel like when he got sacked season. It was the season before when we got taken out the.
Pretty sure it was in the UCL. Cup too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in the cup matches. Carabao Cup. So listen. Whatever happens to him, we'll hope for the best. Mason Burstow, we don't know what's going to happen with him. There's a possibility he stays. Adam, to address your comment, because we don't know what's happening with the striker situation. We don't know what's happening with Broja. I think if a good deal comes with Broja, then Burstow probably stays. I'm just saying. So we'll see what happens with that. But ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to call it right here. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you guys being here. Big up to the panel for joining me. I didn't know I was going to have a long stream today. I was I was scraping for content, but look at where we are now. We're like 10 minutes away from having a 3-hour stream. A lot of things happen in the transfer window. We have 3 more weeks left of the transfer window, guys. So keep your eyes peeled. Well, 2.5 weeks, but keep your eyes peeled. Make sure to check out the news obviously as it comes out. We will be reporting it, and we'll be here again I believe Sunday. I believe that's the next time we're going to be here. Who knows? Hit the bell notification so you are notified. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It does help us out. Thank you everyone who subscribed today. We are going to be on our way to 3K. So please, please, please help us achieve that by subscribing to the channel. Be sure to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. We're almost at 150 likes, by the way, guys. Thank you for getting us to over 100 as it is. But if you can push us over to 150, I would really appreciate it. It does help out the channel tremendously. As you guys have seen, the show has been getting bigger. The chat has been getting bigger, the viewership has been getting bigger, and the likes have been going up. So let's keep that trend going, please, and thank you. Check out the links down below for everyone's content. We are going to be rating Ahmed today. Ahmed's going to go on his stream right now and start up. Which, Ahmed, I don't know if you want to. Yeah.
No, it's not necessary right now. It's going to be for Saturday, but just hop on there. You can raid on there for me and get me my nice subscribers, guys. Much appreciated.
For God's sake.
Listen, man.
Just raid this Saturday, yeah?
It's so much on Saturday streaming it. So
Waste of a raid. Good lord.
Marshall, listen, Marshall's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, Brisky.
You know, Ahmed might be worse than me sometimes. It's shit like this.
Raid it in 3 days' time, guys. Yeah, that's what you should do. Unbelievable.
He doesn't tell you shit.
Listen,
he gives a
what
half
I'm saying,
answer
man.
probably.
I'm just a striker, man. I'm just a striker.
Just help this man achieve 1,000 so he can stop being shamelessly plugging on my stream, okay?
What do you mean? He's still gonna be going?
maybe, but god damn it, there's no point. Okay, whatever. Just go rate him and smash up his buttons and all that stuff. Get ready, like hit the bell notification, be notified when his stream goes on Saturday, 2 days from now. And yeah, show him some love. Show him some love. Show him some love for being shameless. He gives us some laughs. But yeah, let's help him get to 1K. He's been expedited his way up to 1K. So congrats to him, and he's working hard on giving you guys content basically every day. So check out the channel. As always, show him some love. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about everything we discussed today. Be sure to check out the memberships, as we have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And if you are a proper casual and higher tier, you get a shout out. And those shout outs go out to Winter Surfer, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, the usual crowd. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, and thank you everyone else who's also been a member. And be sure to use up those emojis. They are fun to use, and it does make our community unique. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone. Big up to everyone. We'll see you again very soon. And as always, stay casual. Have a good night. Peace.
No.